forgot to turn on the microphone. Okay, good. We got a microphone. Oh, my God. It's Friday, everybody. You're freaking out. I'm freaking out. Welcome. Welcome to another show on a Freaky Friday. Freaky Friday, everybody. How you doing? Good to see you. Thanks for coming out. It's the 25th of February, 2022. It's ridiculous out here, folks. Have you ever tried to buy a house in the last month or two? It's chaos, my friends. It's chaos. It's freaking chaos, my guy. So that's what's on my mind right now. Also, everything going on in Europe is on my mind right now. I'm going to be honest with you. That is, it's obviously huge. What is going on between Russia invading a country, which should not be happening. Total bummer, and I don't like it. If people have like specific questions, you guys can ask me about it. I'm not going to lament at length, though, because that's on every channel. It's on every channel, so doesn't. I'm not adding to the noise unless somebody has a specific question for me. Now, back to the original topic I just mentioned there, which was the buying of the house. And it's like, why am I buying a house? What am I doing here? Why would I be trying to buy a house? What's the plan? What is that update up there? Something keeps flashing. Oh, we have to refresh this. Hold on. We got to refresh this. We got to refresh it. There we go. The moist tattoo meter was glitching out, guys. The moist tattoo goal meter was glitching. It was having a glitch. Oh, good. I mean, I feel like we're with the freshness as long as there's like pink text scrolling across the screen. It feels luscious. And people will ask, what is that? What is that pink text that's up there? It's the moist tattoo goal. Moist, baby. If we get 500 combined paying supporters on the channel, we're going to the royal we, me and God and I, we're going to get a moist tattoo, and it'll probably it'll be the hype of the ages, buds. It'll be the hype of the ages. People will freak out. They'll have a visceral response to the moist tattoo. How can you become a paying member? In the chat there, I posted where you can join on YouTube, which will add to this number right here, the members, or you can go over to Patreon and become a member over there. I don't have the link handy just yet because I got it. Oh my God, it won't let me copy. It won't let me copy the link. I have to highlight it first. There we go. Copy. Now I can come over here and check this out. Wave of the future, folks. Control V for a paste action. Oh my God. You could go over to Patreon, and for as little as like 80 cents a month or 87 cents a month or something like that, if you do the annual $1 membership, I can't do the math in my head right now. Maybe it's 90 cents a month. You can become one of those paying members. It gets us closer to the 500 goal. What's the 500 goal about? It's halfway. That'll be the halfway mark to 1,000. That's our goal, and the goals are clearly stated here on this YouTube channel that makes no sense. The goals are clearly stated here in a very ambiguous manner, which we speak about every once in a while, and then people are like, what is going on? This is ridiculous. Why is the goal 1,000? If we get to 1,000 paying members, I'll do YouTube full time. That's the goal. That's the membership goal quota thing stuff. If you become a member right now, you get to be one of the coolest people on the planet, A. B, a member of our Discord chat, which we're constantly talking about fish tanks, projects, memes, general chat. What's in the general chat? Oh, yeah, that's general chat right there. And you could also call me if you want. Even during the show, you could phone in and be like, you're a dummy dum-dum. And I'll be like, mad respect, bro. Mad respect. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Right. And we also have a Minecraft server, which you can go on there and do some block game stuff in fear of the... Who's the most fearful creature on the Minecraft server?
Just the dark.
The
darkness.
Darkness. It's not Enderman. It's not the Ender Dragon.
No, I think the current is what's the new?
The Wither.
Is it the Wither?
The Wither's a big pain.
No, because there's a new one that they just put in the Deep Darkness.
It's not out yet, so that doesn't count yet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Anyhow, phone lines are open in case you guys want to call in and ask me or Alyssa a question. And apparently what is described as the Orange Room now. People keep renaming the call-in room.
Oh.
For some reason, it's normally called the Green Room, but we can't have that. It has to keep getting renamed. So today it's the Orange Room, and we're a community, so we just roll with the punches around here, guys.
That's the room of many colors.
It's a room of many shades of color. You guys will notice from our the thumbnail when you clicked in onto the live stream today that we do have a guest co-host. And we're going to bring her in here now because here we go. We push the button. Alyssa Bentley is here.
Yay.
No relation to Bentley. Pascal?
No.
Pascal. Pascal. No relation because one is a first name and one is a last name. Mm-hmm. So that might be confusing to some people. I don't know why. I do not know why.
It was very funny the first time that came around, though.
Well, it's like if you knew somebody named William Steve, mm-hmm. right, and then you knew somebody named Steve William, mm-hmm. would you be like, "Are you you guys are related, right?" Like, what?
When I was in elementary school and before I knew how things typically work. I had learned that when you get married, you take the other person's last name.
Right.
And so there was a guy whose name was Todd Mackenzie, like MC Kenzie. Mm-hmm. And then there was a girl and her name was Mackenzie and her last name was Todd.
Right.
And so I was like, so if you guys get married, then you'll be Todd and Mackenzie. It works, right?
No, that's not how that works.
I didn't realize that wasn't how it typically works.
Just imagine if they hyphenate it.
Wouldn't that be fun? Todd, Mackenzie, Todd, and Mackenzie, Todd, Mackenzie.
Yeah, that would have been cooler. Would have been cooler had they hyphenated, because then everybody would have been confused. Yeah.
Yes, it was a fun misunderstanding of how social conventions work.
Aubrey says it's the warden. I keep getting it confused with the sheriff. I keep thinking he's the sheriff. And I know it's wrong, so I don't say it out loud. I don't verbalize it. I'm like, this is the sheriff.
Right.
They're like, what?
Well, you can shoot him, but not the deputy.
You mean like Cobb Vanth from Star Wars? I'm like, yeah. It's like the sheriff from Star Wars. But yeah, it's the warden. Very scary. Very scary Minecraft guy. He might get you. He might not get you.
He might.
It sounds like he's going to get you. I think if you even if you defeat the warden, which seems to be virtually impossible from what I can tell.
People keep trying.
People have tested it and it's not working.
Right.
He doesn't even drop anything.
Yeah.
So you don't even get any experience points or anything.
Nope.
It's just you're wasting your time. You better just got to run away.
Yes.
Which doesn't seem a very good effect, but it turns out they the Minecrafters, they came up with a resolution that whilst sneaking, the warden won't be getting after you. If you know what I'm saying. If you sneaky Pete.
Oh, okay.
The warden won't be trying to get you.
Stealth detection isn't very high.
And so they have a yeah, and so there's actually enchantment books so you can sneak faster.
Nice.
1, 2, and 3, which apparently, from my understanding of the mechanic of it, sneak 3 is as fast as walking. So it's not exactly the greatest enchantment ever.
It's not bad though. You just got to get your pinky finger all warmed up so you can hold down that sneak key and then go.
Well, I can already hold down the sneaky, but it's like you get like a sneak enchantment 3, and it's only as fast as walking. So it's like it just barely makes you a little bit faster each time. You know?
Yeah, I mean, but it's
And I
still
even
it's not slowing you down.
I drink speed potions all the time so I can even go faster. Because I'm like, my character's going too slow.
I wonder if it stacks.
I feel like I should have leveled up my character by now. That my character should be faster and stronger. You know what I mean?
Well,
but
that's
no,
a different kind of game, though.
I understand that. I understand that is not the Minecraft game.
Right.
This is what I'm saying is, in the video game world, I mean, my character should be at least level 50 by now, and go a little bit faster and be a little bit stronger. You know, maybe a little wisdom. You know, maybe some attributes, maybe some beneficial attributes from becoming a more worldly character.
I mean, we could play an MMORPG.
Is chat broken today? What's going on with chat? Is it broken?
I think people just didn't realize we were going to just talk about Minecraft right now.
Is this broken? Oh, no. Okay. Look, it's working. All right. Everybody's just being quiet. They're just like, oh, my God, this is so interesting. I'm captivated. The seat of my pants. Oh, the other promotional thing we have to do today is hit the like button. Oh, my God. It's like, I hate it. I hate self-promotion, but we have to do it, apparently. Hit the like button so the robots know that we like stuff. God. Take your phone out of your pocket and then open up the screen and then go to the thing and then hit the like button. I know it's a pain in the ass. I understand, folks. I get it. It's depressing. You can't even hit the dislike button anymore. I mean, there is a dislike button, but then you don't even... It's not even verified that you hit the dislike button.
Right.
You know, it's just like, it just goes off into the ether now. And I'm like, I at least felt justified in the past of like, this actually is bad. I'm going to hit the dislike button, right? They're like, maybe there will be enough dislike button pushers that people will know when they click on this video. Like, wow, there's only 2 likes and 48,000 dislikes. This video is probably just not good, right? And it could save them. It could save them from their own wanting to watch a YouTube video, right?
Right.
But, yeah, who knows? Oh, my God. New Local Austin says I was behaving. No, you're supposed to type a lot into the chat, guys. This is a chat-driven show. I hope you guys understand that. Alyssa and I did a ton of pre-show work by driving to my house. That was our work.
Yep.
I drove from 90 miles away from here to get here. And I got here at 1:41.
Oh, wow.
Which is enough time to go to the bathroom, wash my hands, and brush my teeth, and make a cup of coffee, and start all the computers. Like, turn on computers. Yeah, so it is what it is. New Local Austin. Aubrey says, Minecraft is just an endless grind, which is true. Quickly followed up by Local Austin saying, life is an endless grind. Some love pixels. I'm confused by the some love pixels, but yes, life is an endless grind. It's a never-ending grind, folks. And it's one of those things that I was actually, whilst driving around today, I was doing some verbal note-taking whilst driving. And one of the things I was trying to, like, make into a cogent thought process is I was trying to, like, encapsulate what it is while being in America, right? Of trying to figure out a way to relate to people that you go, like, every moment of every day is under the thumb of having to have money.
Yep.
And I was trying to think of an example that, like, you don't need money for in the United States. Because I recently got into a bit of a back and forth argument, I guess, discussion. It wasn't a debate or anything, but it was kind of a back and forth discussion with somebody who believes that there's far too much social aid in the United States, right? That, like, there's too much welfare, right? It's the old argument about welfare queens or whatever. It's like Ronald Reagan politics, right? And I was like just trying to explain that like every moment of every day in the United States, you need money. And I was trying to think of an example that you realistically don't need money, right? And I was thinking about like, oh, if you just go for a, if you were to just go for like a hang out at the park or something, or I don't know, maybe not even a park, because a park has to be funded, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, maybe if you just found some grass and you just went down and sat in the sun like Biddy Brown, but the dog. If no one knows who Biddy Brown is, that's the dog. That's not Alyssa and I's dog. It's Vicky and I's dog. I know it's very confusing if this is your first time here. I see there's a first timer in the chat, but anyhow, the dog's sitting outside in the sun, getting a sunbeam shining on him, which dogs love that. I gotta admit, I love that too.
Mm-hmm.
Like today's the perfect weather for it too. It's 48 degrees outside. It was freezing this morning, by the way, when I got up. Everything was frozen. There's still snow on the ground out there, but it was 48 or 46 degrees and brilliantly sunny. So it was like you could get your sun on, but you're not like sweating to death. You're not dying.
Right.
So you could just chill and like ruminate in the beauty of nature or whatever, right? Like you could just be like, oh, the sun's beaming on me. It's rad. Yeah. But then I was thinking about it in terms of like, if you're just sitting, you're getting closer to the needing of the next meal.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So like if you, even if you're like under the pretense of like, well, you could just do nothing. It's like, yeah, but I'm inching closer to the grocery bill, right? In the best case scenario is a grocery bill, let alone like if you had to buy some pre-prepared food, right? You know, so like I'm like, I can't even think of an example that doesn't encapsulate like the requirement of monetary compensation for something. And I found that to be like very dystopian, like depression inducing, like, oh, and obviously it's associated with, we're trying to buy a house right now, and it is a nightmare. It's nightmare fuel. It's just, you're like, okay, we got to buy a new house. We got to relocate, blah, 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 which is an insane thing anyhow. Like in its own right, you're like, I have to pack everything. We have to go to another place. Like every account has to move. Like every, moving sucks.
Yeah,
right.
Absolutely.
So then I was like, it was like, so we finally found a house. And by the way, Vicky hadn't even seen this house. I saw this house with our agent.
Right.
I went and toured it. I looked around. I didn't do a home inspection because you can't.
Right. You get like 10 minutes.
There is no time.
Yeah.
And by the way, if you are going like, hey, I want to do a home inspection, which by the way is due diligence in buying a home, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're like, oh, cool. We already have 5 offers that waived inspection. Okay. Then I guess we all have to waive inspection now. Because it's like we're all playing to the lowest common denominator of like, of stupidity, basically, of just like, well, I shall use this mechanism to my favor, good sir, of total irresponsibility. Aha, huzzah. You're like, what?
Right.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, your inspector might find that one of your center beams is cracked or something like that in the middle of your goddamn basement.
Yeah. We put in an offer. I don't even want to say how much it is. In my mind, it's an earth-shattering amount of money. I will put it this way. It would take me more than 15 years to make this amount of money if I saved every single penny I made.
Okay.
So if you think let's say I make $50,000 a year, it's more than that because it's 15. So it's not a 10. It's not a 10. Yeah. Oh, we got outbid by like $100,000 with cash, waiving financing, waiving inspection, waiving everything, like a 3-day close.
Yep.
They're like, We bribed the bankers to close this faster. We shall close in 3 days. Time. We bribed them with cash. Yeah. So we didn't get that house. That's what I'm saying.
Right.
There's no new fish room, folks. We have no new fish room project. It's not happening yet.
No.
It's so discouraging. It's like it would be less discouraging to actually get kicked in the balls. I'm gonna tell you.
Well, at least that only happens and then it's done.
Yeah.
I mean, there's lingering pain for a little while, right?
Yeah, it sucks. It's not good.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
BJ Palmer says don't bypass the inspection. BJ, there's no option to not bypass the inspection. There's nothing we can do about it.
Mm-hmm.
Every single person. Oh, by the way, I would like to explain to you how long this house was on the market. It went on the market at 10 a.m. on Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
I drove out there and saw it at noon that day. We put in an offer that night. This house sold on Thursday at 8 p.m.
Yeah.
So do the math. It's sold already. It's not on the market anymore. It was on the hour. Like, let's see. So can we maths? Can we maths that? So 34 hours.
Mm-hmm.
It was on the market for 34 hours.
Yeah.
34 hours, guys. That's how long it was on the market.
People just bought it with. How are there all these people with this much cat? I don't know.
There's no inventory. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Yep. But I don't know how many. I don't know how there's people with like. So one of the houses that we went to put an offer on, which was like, I think it listed at $559, so just under $600,000. And then we escalated our offer to like, I think $650 or something like that. And somebody came in and offered $795 cash.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, that house was $620.
Mm-hmm.
The house was $620. We offered $650, I think. And somebody came in with cash, $795.
Yep.
So it was like $175,000 in cash over the asking price. That's what the market's like here. Good luck.
Yep.
Good luck.
Yep. Good
luck.
It's crazy.
Some of the good houses are selling before the market. It's crazy out there. Coming soon. Sold. Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. It's super crazy. But I have intestinal fortitude, my friends.
Oh, good.
So we shall forge on. There's nothing we can do. Oh my god, guys. Oh my god, guys. We have an issue on our hands here.
What sort of an issue?
We have a new member.
Oh, wow.
On Patreon.
Oh, dang.
Not on the YouTube. We have a new patronizer. Are you ready for it?
Probably.
Jack.
The Ripper?
Why would you say Jack the Ripper?
I don't know. It was the first thing that came to mind. The second would be of all trades. But anyway, I don't know.
Of all trains?
Trades.
Oh. Jack of all trains has entered the Patreon.
That would be an awesome name. Like if you were a train guy.
If you were a train guy?
Yeah.
So we're at 100. Oh, oops, I had an extra number there. 140, which puts us closer to our moist tattoo goal. If we get to 500, I'm tattooing the moist. I'm going to do a community post about it and see if we can't drum up some support for the channel. Who knows if we'll ever get there.
If you get there, you should put up some kind of a
Somebody asked me
poll.
Somebody asked me if you could double up. And technically, yes, you can, because I just count totals. That's it. Because I don't want to point out who it was, but somebody is a patron and a YouTube member, and they were like, does that count as 2? And I'm like, yeah, technically that counts as 2. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, I really am not going to do the due diligence to go like, well, this is only 1 because it's the same. I'm literally just give it this right here.
Yeah.
This sort of dead face thumbs up, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, speaking of Jack the Ripper, that guy was awful.
True.
That guy was terrifying.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, especially, you got to think of like the time back then. Nobody knew what was going on.
Right.
All they knew that there was some guy going around like vivisecting
People.
women.
Ladies.
Ladies.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That is creepy.
Mm-hmm.
And I realized I watched a Sherlock Holmes movie where Jack the Ripper was like the main character, and somehow in my head, I think it was it the one that had, was it the one with oh shoot, what's his name?
I won't know because I haven't seen it.
Who's his Iron Man? What's Iron Man's name?
Oh,
Robert
Downey Jr.
Downey Jr.'s.
Yeah.
Yes, I think it's that one.
Oh.
And so it's like, yeah, I think that's who it was. But it'll take you out of it, you know. I don't know. Hold on, somebody's blowing up my phone. Who is this? Oh my God, it's Jack becoming a patron. We got a phone. Oh my God, it's amazing, guys.
Nice.
We're moving into 2022 with some up notes. Like, look, the housing market being a thing is a big pain in my butt. It is. And it's fun to complain about it just because of its level of absurdity is so high. Like, it might as well be like people in clown costumes just running around like screaming into the air for no reason. You're like, this is just what? You know? But I'm confident that we'll get a house. It's just a matter of time. It's just time and diligence. That's all it is.
Yep.
So it's fun to complain about it because it's ridiculous, but I'm not discouraged by it. But I will say that I'm encouraged by people becoming members. So it's just good to see people coming back too that were just beat down by the pandemic, which is good. That is, and that brings a little spark of joy to my heart that I'm like, oh my God, they messaged, you know, it's not Jack, but somebody messaged me a while ago that they were gone because of the pandemic. Like, they lost their job, like they had all these problems. It was like 18, 20 months ago or something like that. And they came back a little while ago. And it was like,
Good.
whoa. I didn't announce it because it felt like sharing somebody's information that they didn't want
Right.
shared necessarily. But it was good to see them back. And I was just sitting around here by myself, acknowledging it in my mind and going like, well, I'm going to wait, and then I can talk about it later, because then people won't be able to put two and two together.
Mm-hmm.
You know? To maintain their anonymity.
No, I get it.
You know what I mean?
I do.
Because I feel like that's a breach of privacy that people just they didn't sign up for.
Right.
So I'm just like, I got to wait before I can talk about it. But now it's been like a month and a half or something, so, you know, it's
Right.
fine.
For sure.
You know what I mean?
I do.
Yeah. Does that make you feel joy?
It makes me feel gladness. I wouldn't describe it as joy, but I'm just glad. I'm glad that people are making it in the world.
I'm mad that you don't feel joy about it. Now I'm back to being mad again.
Oh, okay.
Damn, I'm so mad now.
Well, Fish Tank Barn wants to know where the tattoo is going to go.
Well, I'll figure that out when we get to 500. Maybe somebody could, maybe we'll super chat for a location. But no face, neck, or hands. I made that statement about myself a long time ago. 25 years ago, probably. Because I know lots of guys who got hands, necks, face tattoos. I got a lot of buddies with that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And the funny thing is like, I talked
With
to
the
my
big-
buddy. Yeah, just a big ass neck tattoo. Like, I talked to a buddy of mine. I was like, what are you going to do if, what are you going to do if in 15 years you are in a position where you're like an important person that it's like you have 100 employees or something, and they're like, well, the CEO owner of the company's got a neck tattoo, so I guess I just do whatever I want too, and they're like, I'll never be in that position. And I was like, wow, you're really signing up for a not success in life.
I got a friend who
I'm like, it just seemed like just such a bad decision,
I have a
which is
friend who
weird
is
because like tattoo shops in the past would have like never tattooed somebody's face.
Mhm.
So like I know a lot of tattooers. I've been around tattoo shops my entire life, basically. in the past, like 20 years ago, you would have had to already had like most of your body covered in tattoos for them to even consider tattooing like your neck or your hands or something.
Mm-hmm.
But I see people now, the only tattoos they have are on their hands. And you're like, this is your first tattoo?
Yeah,
Like,
that's weird.
what? What are you doing? Like, you tattooed a giant skull on your hand? Like, that's your first tattoo? Was like, I gotta get this hand tattoo? Like, what?
Yeah, I don't know. My sister got like a little tiny thing right here. That was her first.
Uh-huh.
And it was something that, I don't know, I guess they had done at somebody's house or whatever.
Well, yeah.
And,
I mean, you can always get prison tattoos. Like, that's fine.
yeah, well, she just had like her initials.
Yeah, that's fine.
She just had her initials. And,
I mean, here's the thing. Like, I'm not discounting anybody
right.
who has face, hand, or neck tattoos. Like, I hope
I'm just saying.
most of my friends have face, neck, and hand tattoos. I've just always been of the opinion that, like, I can put on a suit, right?
Yeah.
And no one knows what the hell is going on.
Right.
Like, they're just like, oh, there's a guy over there.
Yep.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
But then, like, I could wear swim trunks, and then people are like, sweet mother of God, who is this weirdo? Right? Like, I get the best of both worlds.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I like to have the opportunity to choose from the best of both worlds if I feel like it needs to be. Like, if I go to Japan, like, I think it's more...
They put you in a separate...
Yeah.
Like, if you go to one of the bath places or whatever.
I think it's more accepted now, but still probably not very much.
Like, 5 years ago, they would still put you in a different part of, like, the hot... Like, if you go to the hot springs or something like that, they will still put you in a different area.
Where do they have the... Where do they have the mixed? Where do they have the mixed sex steam room bath place? Like what? Like Sweden, Norway,
Oh, I have no
Finland,
idea. I have no idea.
Greece. Anybody know in the chat? Let me know where it is. We're gonna go visit. Not Alyssa and I. Well, maybe. Are you coming?
I don't know.
Right.
I've never been to Europe.
Europe.
I've never been there.
Yeah, I just always thought it would be funny to go to one of those, and I've never been. And I don't know that I want to go to one in the States because it's going to be overly sexualized.
Right, because people aren't used to it.
Yeah, because people are like...
You want to go somewhere where it's no big deal.
Yeah, and just chill.
Yeah.
Like, I've been to Burning Man a couple of times, and Burning Man's like that, but there's no moisture there. It's all sand and dust and hot.
Yeah, that's why
it's
never
in a
went.
desert.
I would end up with a major headache every single day, all the time.
See, if you were there, if you went to Burning Man, you would just sleep during the day.
That's also true. Mm-hmm.
Because it's so hot,
mm-hmm.
and you can't deal with the sun exposure.
True.
So you have the double whammy. But the thing about Burning Man is it's always open. It's 24 hours a day.
Yeah.
So you don't really need to be out during the day.
Yep.
It's like, ain't nobody going to a job.
Yep.
No.
Yeah, and just be all, in my head, like, we only come out at night.
Yeah. And actually, the
day is much too bright.
It's way fun to go out at night because that's when all the fire and all the lights and all the music and all the people are doing.
And I like all those things.
They're doing all their art installations, and you get to go to the Thunderdome. I mean, come on.
Yes.
Although I don't know that I would go now. It seems like very corporate.
Mm-hmm. I've heard that it is definitely much changed from how it was 20 years ago.
Right. Yeah, I don't know if I would go now because I went over 20 years ago.
Yeah.
It might, I'm just going to keep the memory, I think.
Yeah, it's probably better than to...
Because I think, honestly, like, if I was going to spend that kind of money to go on a trip now for, like, 2 weeks,
mm-hmm.
I would just go to, like, Peru or something and film some fish, or go to Europe and film some fish, or go somewhere and film some fish. Hey, man, who's got a cool fish room around here? I want to go talk to him.
Speaking of fish.
Yeah, what's up, dude?
I don't know. This is probably going to be like a no-brainer kind of situation, but I had been running, bare bottom tanks, glass bottom tanks for like a year. And I would have
bare
to
bottom
do
tanks. I know her.
Yeah. Wouldn't that be that'd be a fun
YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Somebody probably already has it, and they're probably not funny.
Ah.
They're probably just
lame.
Yeah. Anyhow.
Yeah.
You got the bare bottom tanks.
Right. And so I'd had to do like daily water changes, like big water changes every single day in order to try to keep things. And so finally one day I'm like, this is ridiculous. I am dumping so much water on my grass. My lawn is going to turn into soup.
True.
And so finally over the past like couple of months, I've been slowly putting gravel substrate in my tanks. Just, and then like taking the plants that I had that were floating or in like pots and just like putting them into the substrate.
Oh yeah.
Which is how it's like a weird concept. I don't know if you've heard of it, but they put plants in the tanks now. And
no, it's new to me.
I know, weird, right? And so this whole time I've been testing the water to see how it goes. And what's funny is I now am only doing a water change when I need to squeeze out some filters. Which is like twice a week for each tank, which is way less than what I was doing before, which was, every single day. So pretty good. Pretty dang good. Anthony Mazeral's in the chat. And he was wondering how I know who he is. I'm pretty sure he's the guy that came and talked to us at Greater Seattle Aquarium Society a couple years ago. I got memories. That's fine.
You got memories?
I got memories, man.
You got memories?
I asked if he knew about my autos, and
is it
nobody
Anthony Mazeral? Is that right?
That's him.
Am I getting it right?
That's him right there.
Okay. His channel name's the Amazon Research Center for Ornamental Fishes, which is kind of a long thing to
True.
To say in one word. I am interested in coming to the research center in Peru. It is on my list. I've been to Peru now. I have all my vaccines, although I have to go back and get 2 more boosters. One yellow fever. I don't know. It doesn't matter. No one cares. And I do plan on coming back. Going back? I don't know. Going back to Peru. That's my email. That's my public email. You guys can just send stuff there. Whatever you guys want to send there. Maybe you drew a picture of something and you want to send me an email about it. That's fine. Yeah, hit me up. Let me know. And I hope to come back. I'm still piecing together my Peru videos from having gone there with Corey and Dean and Randy. Care of the Aquarium Co-op. If you guys aren't familiar with the Aquarium Co-op, they're a great store. You should go there, buy stuff online. It's the easiest way to do it. Or you can go there in person if you happen to be in Edmonds, Washington, of all places. Yeah.
Their packaging is a pleasant jewel green.
It's a pleasant green, yes. Yeah, so I do plan on going back and hopefully with a different game plan the next time we go back. I think Corey and I have discussed it a couple times. Dean and I have discussed it a couple times. We do have kind of a slightly shifted interpretation of going down. We basically just need the people to set it up. One of the people that we sort of rely on permitting and blah 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 apparently is like having to get relicensed or something. I don't know what's going on, but hit me up with the email and we can discuss at some point some possibilities. Fish Tank Barn's got to go get dinner. I hope he's having barbecue, because it reminds me of the time that we got to go get barbecue together, and I want to go do that again. Travel's opening back up, so I'm probably going to have to just go to hang out in Michigan.
Yeah, just go hang out, see what he's doing in that barn of his.
What are you doing, bud?
And
I want to film your barn.
Yeah.
I don't have a drone, though. I feel like we need a drone for that one.
You can get them at Costco.
What?
You can get the drones at Costco.
What drone are you talking about?
The ones that you can just send up and put like a camera mount on them and see. They're at Costco. You can get them there.
All right. This is confusing. Going Back to Peru is the title of Joel's next rap album. I don't know that I'm much of a rapper. I'm more of an R&B guy. I like to take it down. You know?
You could... See, you have to do one rap album, and then the next one can be Going Back to Peru.
That's true. Yeah, we have to have the initial release. We have to have the first album. The freshman. Is it the freshman album? Is that how you do it? It's the freshman. The first album. I don't know. Is it the first release? There's a name for it.
I
don't know.
I don't
We'll
remember.
figure it out.
I don't remember
We'll get to
anymore.
the bottom of it at some point. What did we title this? Oh yeah, Aquariums: The Wave of the Future.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because I think they are the wave of the future. And it's one of those things that, like, I mentioned the pandemic earlier, and a few people that I've been able to talk to, certainly over this last 2-year period, it's pretty clear that I think there's a lot of people out there that are sort of lacking an engagement within their home space. I think a lot of people sort of looked up from their couch and realized, like, man, the only entertaining thing I have in my place is a TV, and that's not quite footing the bill at this point when I got to spend extra time inside, you know.
Yeah.
Alyssa can look around and realize I have 9,000 hobbies right in just this room. So I'm not one of those people. I am never really bored, because I literally just be like, oh my God, I got to deal with this now, and let's go fiddle with that for a while. And there's I got to go paint on something. Okay, let me play Minecraft for half an hour. Oh, I got to go.
Yep.
You know. But I know a lot of people I talk to that were like, man, I don't have a hobby. I talked to a lot of people that realized that, like, they don't even have a hobby.
Yeah.
Let alone an accessible hobby.
Isn't that crazy?
I remember I talked to somebody that their hobby was skee ball. You know, where you, like, ride around in
Did you go
the
to
go-karts on the in do you know what I'm talking about?
skee ball?
Yeah.
Don't you mean where you go to the arcade and you get the little wooden ball?
Not skee ball, whirly ball, sorry.
Oh. I don't know.
But skee ball is equally as inaccessible
yeah.
to skee
Because
ball.
you have to go out.
Yeah, you got to go somewhere that has the facility to do it. Whirly ball is, you know, those electric bumper cars? Bumper cars. Okay, bumper cars. And then you remember the track ball on the handle thing? And you send that thing flying out? Do you know what I'm talking about?
No.
Damn it. You don't know what I'm talking about.
No.
Oh my
I know
God.
bumper cars.
I'm going to have to look one up.
All right.
But it's like, have you ever seen a chuck it at the dog park? Where it's like an extension of your hand and you put the ball in it and then you throw it out?
The thing that...
It's sort of like that.
Oh.
And then there's a goal, and everybody, like, goes around in bumper cars, and you try to score up in the goal with this ball that you throw on a stick.
Huh. So it's kind of like
Whirly
polo, but...
It's like polo with bumper cars,
Huh.
and you're not swimming.
Interesting.
You're in bumper cars.
Right.
And you got a track ball instead of a volleyball.
Oh, I was thinking like horse polo. But it's
Very
like
much.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'm with you. Yeah, I somehow described something. Yeah. Man, we're like, you and me, kid.
Yeah. Like your train is going here.
I just said,
and mine's going
I just
here,
said
but
a whole
we got
bunch
to
of
the
crap,
same.
and you eventually figured out what I was talking about. I mean, I just was words, dude. Like,
Nice.
yeah, I don't know, dude. But like, anyhow, I guess my whole point for the tangent there is that I talked to a lot of people that were like, I can't even do any of my hobbies because I got to go somewhere to do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, you know.
Aubrey asks, what do you think about those 700-gallon windowed stock tanks? I think they're awesome, and that's just my personal thing.
What are you talking about?
The windowed stock tanks that you can get, they're like a big, usually blue stock tank that's all like reinforced and plastic, but then there's clear windows in it, and I've seen them, and people have them in with like goldfish or koi or whatever in it.
Oh, it's sort of like a pond or like above ground pool thing.
Yeah, which you can see into, which
see in there.
I think is cool. And if I was able to get one of those down into my basement, which I don't think I could, I would totally put one in my basement.
Your basement is not accessible for that. I'm sorry to tell you.
But in my head, in my dreams.
In my dreams.
Right. But I think I could get a 300-gallon stock tank down in there.
We just have to put another building on your property.
I mean, I guess, or we could just put it in like the garage.
Or you could just sell your house and move.
No. We just got there.
To New York. How's the lyrics go there? The concrete jungle where dreams are made of, or something, or what these dreams? I don't know. My rap album is the worst, dude. Yeah, I can't even remember the lyrics.
Yeah,
I can't even remember the lyrics to other people's rap albums. Shoot. Casey Noyce says, like the one in Linwood. Yes, there is one in Linwood, a Whirly Ball Center. There's one down here too. Cannot remember where it is, but maybe we should look it up and go have a pizza party. And play whirly ball in the go-karts. That'd actually probably be fun.
That would probably be fun.
I don't know how to figure out how to make it competitive though. I've lost that like giving a F about defeating my friends at things.
Oh, well, I mean that's fine.
Like I feel like it's human nature when you're like 18, to like it's probably because I'm a parent now. It's probably because I'm a dad, and I'm like, everybody's winning. You know what I mean? I'm like clapping for all the kids. Like, everyone's winning this game.
Oh, Dr. Anthony Mazeral says that the big 700-gallon windowed stock tanks come apart.
Yeah, I think those are all just assembled PVC, right? I think so. But one of the places that I think we should go to is the koi place out in Bothell. We should definitely go out there.
Koi.com?
It's like koi.com, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we should definitely go out to that one of these days.
That'd be sweet.
It got brought back to my attention because he was a guest speaker for the co-op the other day.
Oh, really?
Or next month or something. I don't know. I saw paraphernalia that was like advertising paraphernalia around the store the other day.
Okay.
And I was like, Oh, my brain. I got to go back. It's been so long.
Right. That's awesome.
Amazon Research says, is there a way to send private chat to anyone? Not in YouTube. But if you become a member, you can join up on the Discord. Mm-hmm. You get access to the Discord, and then you can private message everybody.
That's true.
As long as it's PG-13, otherwise you get kicked out.
Yeah, no sliding into no DMs.
No sliding into the DMs with no weirdness.
Yeah.
Which
I mean,
we haven't really had to moderate that much. I think I've only ever had to moderate 3 people out of our Discord the whole time.
Yeah. Usually they self-select.
They're self-selecting.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's oftentimes that people are self-selecting when they realize like
this ain't my crowd.
This ain't my crowd. I'm not,
Yeah.
And it's unfortunate because like I always try to do my best to like sort of explain my thought process and like how do I come to certain conclusions without denigrating anybody.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
But there are certain points in time where I've had people that like they use things like, well, that's what Jesus said, and it's like, what do you want me to do right now? Do you want me to be friendly? Because I talked to God, okay? And he said that Jesus was wrong, and you're like, you can't say that. You never talked to God. I'm like, well, you never talked to Jesus either. So just chill out with your weirdness. So that stuff happens from time to time, but
right.
Lorcan Tom Wing can't become a member.
From
you can't
Trinidad and Tobago.
I think Trinidad and Tobago, I think you can become a patron, which is the other option over on Patreon. And it's a much lower point of entry, $1 a month.
Yeah, very true.
Versus $5. Yeah, YouTube is restricting. YouTube has its own things to deal with. I don't think that Patreon does.
Yeah.
But YouTube's weird for certain areas, which is why I have the Patreon, because I know there's some people that are like, I can't do that. I can't do this. I can't do that. Da 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 da. It's like, oh yeah, okay. Well, it's just the two different options, but yeah.
The other thing is you did link your email into the chat to Dr. Anthony.
My chat.
So just totally just email Joel.
Yeah, my email is attached to my YouTube channel. That is something that drives me completely insane. If I go to somebody's YouTube channel and they don't have an email address that's a public email address, I'm like, why? It's free. Right?
Right.
Like, it's basically free to have an email, right? There is a YouTube channel I was watching the other day that I wanted to contact them. There's no contact information at all. It's like tweet me on Twitter. It's like, no, I'm not going on Twitter to try and like get a hold of you. Like,
right.
We all have email addresses. Like, just have this email address as this is my public one, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, how difficult is that? It's not difficult. It's like the opposite of being difficult.
Right. Plus, I don't know, sometimes you just want to say something to somebody, but you don't want it to be like putting them on blast.
I don't like going on Twitter. Twitter is like, you take let's say that 10% of the population is the worst, right? Then you refine them down into a fine, like, reduction, right? You stick them in a pot on simmer for a really long time, and it just reduces that sauce all the way down to a thick demi-glaze.
Mm-hmm.
That's Twitter. And I don't have time for it. It's just like, I posted something on Twitter once, and I got like 50 like basically like evil responses is the only way to describe it. It's like, where in the world do you think you could talk like this kind of stuff, right? And you're just like, no, I'm good. And somebody was like, oh, you could just moderate them. And I'm like, so I literally have to go through and ban like 50 people right now? I was just like, this is a waste of time. So yeah, I have a public facing email that you can email if you want. You can get a hold of me, and then it's all good. Aquarium Zone says, Joel, emails aren't cool anymore. Cool. That's fine by me. That's fine by me. If the people that imagine that they're so cool that they can't email are like thrown aback by me saying like, hey, email me if you want to get in touch with me, that's good. That's part of the filtering process to get rid of those people.
You're not telling them to send you a letter.
Yeah. I remember I was in a corporate training program in
Sweet.
Yeah, sweet.
Oh, sorry. I got distracted. He sent you an email.
Oh, okay, cool. I was in a corporate training program like in 2002 or something like that. I don't know. It's 20 years ago. And one of the things that they said that they were training about was through the hiring process, right? And what they did is they outlined 3 basic steps that you should require applicants to do. Like, don't make them overly complicated. In fact, make them super basic.
Mm-hmm.
But 3 specific steps to follow, and then everyone that doesn't follow those specific steps are not qualified for this job because they can't even follow like the basic instruction of these 3 weird steps, or not weird steps, but these 3 steps in order to apply for a job, right? And I was like, man, that seems harsh. And they're like, well, do you want that? Do you want those people that show up to a job and can't do the simple stuff? Like, and you're like, oh, yeah, like they're not teachable. They can't take basic instruction.
Mm-hmm.
They just will refuse at every juncture to do what you're wanting them to do, even though it's basic, like simple stuff. Yeah, like wash your hands before you go back to work. You meet somebody that balks at that. They're like, I'm not obeying this hand washing policy anymore. And you're like, what? What do you mean? Like basic hygiene? Like I'm not asking you to douche yourself or something. Like
Right.
wash your hands that's too much. You probably
Yeah.
have poop on your hands. Like you gotta go, Chief. Get out of here. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, no, I do. And it's always interesting when you're at a restaurant and you see the server or somebody is in the
Right.
restroom at the same time and they just go right out and you're like, well, I guess we're not coming back here.
Oh, I would just leave. I'd be like, yeah, I don't know what's going on here.
Right.
I gotta go.
Yep. Because
You know, there are certain times where Vicky would be like, hey, can we go to blah, blah, blah restaurant? And I'm like, no, we can't go there. And she'll be like, why? I don't know. It's supposed to be really good, blah, blah, blah. It's like, I've been inside it. She's like, oh, what, you ate there sometime? It's like, no, I've been in their kitchen. I know what's going on back there, man. You don't want to eat there, you know? Oh, are you sure? Like, come on, man. What do you mean? Am I sure? Get out of here. That's some weak sauce, you know?
Right. Yeah.
I thought she's supposed to be my life partner.
She is. She just
Does
really
she trust
wanted
me?
to try it.
Yeah. Well, she's in Alaska anyhow, so
That's true.
c'est la vie. See you later, Vicky.
When you come back.
Whatever. Until Thursday.
Right. Maybe
Yeah.
she'll see some whales. I don't know. Who knows what she's doing up there? There's obviously more to Alaska than the coastline. So who knows?
Well, you can see the ocean from where she's at. I know what she's up to. Do you want me to tell you?
No.
Okay, cool. Yeah, you can go out in the ocean and just no time flat.
Nice.
Catch some halibut, come back in, pick up some coal off the
Avoid-
beach.
Avoid eagles
They're
because there's lots of them.
they're like seagulls.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you've ever encountered seagulls, if you've ever encountered seagulls when they're like around an area where there's a lot of food, so there's just like a ton of them,
Just hanging out.
like begging for French fries,
Yeah.
like the one that was on the hood of my truck.
Yeah.
Just this week, that happened. A seagull came and landed on my hood and was begging for French fries. And by the way, I didn't even have any French fries. So joke's on you, stupid bird. I don't ever order French fries. Here's the thing. I would like rather order an extra cheeseburger than get a bag of French fries, personally. So that's what I do.
Okay.
I shall have 2 cheeseburgers, sir.
And then they go, would you like fries with that?
And I'd be like, no.
And then they say, okay.
And they're like, oh, I didn't, they didn't care. They're like, if you wanted them, you're going to get them for you, but you don't want them? Okay. Yeah, I went to Dick's Cheeseburgers today. It was delicious. I almost fell asleep driving home. It's food coma.
Oh, no.
You know what I mean? Where you're like,
Yeah.
oh my God, I ate cheeseburgers. Oh, driving. You know. Plus, I was driving my nice truck today, and that thing kind of drives itself.
Oh, nice.
You know how it is.
My car doesn't drive itself, but I will imagine it.
Well, typically I drive a 98 Ford, which does not drive itself
Uh-huh.
and pretty much wants to kill me at every turn.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean.
Yeah. Just
You know what I'm talking about.
murderous little Decepticon
It's
in
that
a
jalopy
truck.
mobile. It's my commuter. But you know, I'm going to look at a house. I'm driving my nice truck up there.
I didn't know you had a nice truck also.
You didn't know that?
No. I don't actually keep tabs on what vehicles you have.
I know, it's weird. You should be keeping tabs. I mean, come
I'll
on.
try. Well, the government does. Tabs.
It's true. Tabs. I learned something the other day about tabs.
What?
Via TikTok. Thank you very much. I'm I'm hip, kids. I'm hip. I was TikToking, bro. I was TikTok. You don't stop. No, there was a TikTok, and it was like when you get your tabs in the ghetto, basically. And the gal, she's like opens her envelope and then takes out the tabs, and there's some dude like pops up out of the bushes as she's putting it on, and then it's like she turns around and looks at him, and then pulls out an X-Acto blade and then cuts a bunch of slices in it.
Oh.
So that when they go to peel it off,
It
like,
just turns into slices.
Turns into slices.
Gotcha.
And then the guy's all, oh, shucks. Dang. And then takes off, you know. And I was like, oh, actually, that's pretty smart. If someone's going to steal your tabs and put them on their car.
Yeah.
Which, here's the unfortunate thing. Hey, guys, if you steal somebody's tabs and put them on your car, that's an even much bigger infraction than just paying for your tabs. I hope you guys know that. So if you get pulled over and they find out you have somebody else's tab on your license plate, which there is a code on there and they do check it, you're probably going to jail. Like that's actually the problem. Is like you've committed a crime as opposed to a civil violation of like
You've done
forgetting your
a theft, and your tabs are not correct.
Well, I don't even know if they. I don't even know if they hit you with the tabs violation at that point. Because they might just be like, wow, we've got you on such a good crime already. We're taking you to jail, chief. You know, we're going to extract your wealth through imprisonment.
Yeah, that would make sense.
Oh, my God, we got a notification, folks. All the way from Trinidad and Tobago.
Wow.
All the way from Trinidad and Tobago, Lorcan Tom Wing has entered the Patreon.
There you go. One closer to the moist tattoo.
One closer to the moist tattoo. This is dangerous, folks. We're getting closer to the moist tattoo.
And then you will be obligated to get a tattoo and keep it moist so it heals correctly.
As far as the location goes, I don't know where it's going to be. Probably on my boob or something. Who knows?
Oh. I don't know. I would probably put it on like a shoulder blade.
Like over my belly, or over my belly button?
You could get like a big
moist.
Ugh. You could. maybe ask Vicky. If she has any input on where specifically it should go.
I hope you know that.
And then you can put up a poll.
I hope you know that Vicky has a kick me on a Post-it note tattooed on her.
Huh. On her back?
Uh-huh.
Huh.
Like someone stuck it on there.
Oh.
She has a kick me sign tattooed on her.
I don't know why that makes me sad.
That makes you sad?
Yeah.
That makes you sad? That's
I don't know why.
It's induced sadness. I've already said it earlier, I'm not getting hands, neck, or face tattoos. That's not happening.
Right.
Matt says, did you not know about the tabs thing? No, anytime my tabs have been stolen, I just called the DMV and was like, my tabs got stolen. I need a new one. And they're like, okay. And they've sent me a new one.
I've never had my tabs stolen.
Oh, I have.
So I guess
I just like when I noticed it, I was like, oh, snap. Somebody stole my tabs. This is a bummer.
The only thing I've ever done is, you get like the frame for the license plate frame. Is I'll take that off and then put the tabs so it's slightly underneath it, and then I'll put the frame back on. Which I don't know. It's like it's being pinned down, but I don't know how good that does. I'm sure that doesn't do much good, but in my head it does. And then I check it. I check things before I get into my car. Every time I check the air valves on the tires, and I check to see if the tires are inflated, and I check to see that there's no new dents. And then I check my tabs on my car every time before I get in.
Every time.
Because I am a weirdo.
Yeah,
and slightly paranoid.
It's called a pre-trip inspection is what that's called.
Yep. And
Do you thump the tires? Do you have like the big mallet that you thump the tires with?
no,
Oh, you don't.
they're just little tires, man. I could just kick them with my shoe.
You should get a tire thumper.
Eh. they're so low to the ground. I'd be walking around.
That's true. You probably get back pain from checking your tires.
Right. And I just and it paid off. Like the other day, somehow one of my little caps to my air valve had gotten missing. And I was like, why is my air valve gone? This doesn't make any sense. And there was...
Oh, my God. All the Europeans are asking, what are tabs?
Oh, it's it's a notice that you've paid the yearly taxes on your car.
Yeah. Vehicle tabs in Europe are called what? Who knows? Vehicle registration plate. It's a vehicle registration plate? I don't know what you guys call them.
Or if they have the same thing.
Yeah, yearly you get a license plate tab. Like every year you re-register your vehicle and you pay taxes if applicable. You pay taxes on your vehicle and you re-register it to make sure that the government gets money because you have a car.
Yep.
That's the easiest way to... Bosnia and Herzegovina issues plates with a blue strip on the left side and the plate on the country code. Okay, this is actually just license plates. What the hell do you guys call them in Europe? Do you guys have names for them? We call them tabs here. That's what they're called. That's what we refer to them as.
In America, we have to pay every year for our car. We have to pay another sum.
Oh, registrations. You guys just call it registration.
Huh.
Passenger car registrations down 6%. Yeah, you guys just call it registrations, but maybe you have like a nickname for them. We just call them registration stickers. Never called them tabs. Okay. Alana Suki says we just call them registration sticker. Yeah, the registration sticker is foreshortened to be called tabs here.
I thought Alana Suki is over in Illinois.
I don't know, dude. What do you want me to do?
I don't know. I'm just saying.
What do you want me to do, man? I can't make heads or tails. Maybe she's from Bosnia Herzegovina. I don't know. I don't know their background. I don't know their background. Okay. I don't know anything. Okay.
You do.
I know nothing. I'm like Peter Pan. I know nothing. Was that Peter Pan?
Perpetual child?
Yes. Yes. I am a perpetual child. I shall live forever, and I can fly. I wish I could fly, dude. That'd be bitchin', bro.
You just need fairy dust or pixie dust.
Dude, I need some dust, bros. I quit dust. How long ago did I quit dust? I can't even remember anymore. It's been so long. Oh God, that's my government. I had to pay my business taxes. 2,845 days ago, I stopped doing dust. I stopped doing that. Hey kids, don't do meth. It's bad. It's bad for you. Don't do cocaine either. Yeah. Don't do heroin either.
Yeah.
Don't do whatever. I don't know. Just name all the drugs. Except for like LSD. I think that's probably...
Maybe like once in a while, maybe.
Daily for 6 years.
Ooh.
Do it. Get deep. Introspection.
No.
Get deep.
No, I'm okay.
Deep into the introspection.
So you know what?
I'm
you know what I do now?
LSD for 6 years every day straight. I'm
kidding. On that acetaminophen. Yeah, like once a month or so, I have to take 2 acetaminophens.
What the hell are you talking about?
Tylenol.
I know what acetaminophen is, but what do you mean you have to take 2 once a month?
Sometimes.
For what?
No reason.
Oh. Look, you're just taking 2 once a month just for grins?
Just for funsies.
For funsies? You were going to say shits and grins, weren't you?
Yup.
Oh, my God. You were going to swear on the live stream?
I've already done it twice, but for some reason now.
We were going to be cast aside. We were going to be cast aside by whoever. Some Protestants. Or something. I don't know who they are. Yeah. I'm sorry, guys. I've been going down the rabbit hole of how deeply the Protestants have just kind of screwed with things in this country for so long is the nice way to put it. And it's very weird because they're claiming that they're the victims now. Mm-hmm. And I saw a big sign the other day. Somebody put a big giant sign up that said, save the, oh God, what did it say? Save the Christians from persecution or something. Somebody put a giant sign up in a tree. Like they made a banner. Like they made like a 30-foot banner and put it up in a tree.
Right.
Like save the persecuted. Are you okay? Are you sad now? Does it bring you joy?
I have been. I
didn't shave today, so the Protestants are probably going to cast me out. You know?
Yeah, you do. It is really dark today.
It's a little dark around the edges. I didn't shave this morning. I didn't have time, guys. I was handling the daughter. We had to go to the daycare, and then I had to drive a lot farther than I had anticipated because I hung out with Olivia probably a little too long because we were a little bit late to go to the daycare. We weren't late, but we were later than she normally goes because we were we were eating oatmeal and having fun.
Yeah.
And so we went over there, and I was like, oh, I'll just spin back home and take a shower and shave and do all that stuff. But then because this whole housing thing, this whole trying to buy a house, it was like, oh, crap. We got an extra house appointment.
Oh, no.
So I got 2 today. And so I was like, let me zip up there. And then I don't know, the math in my head was like a little off. You know, I was like, it's like an hour. No, it's an hour and a half. And, and then we checked the 2 houses, and then I drove back. And I was like, so I haven't taken a shower yet. So I apologize if I smell bad. I realized I smelled my foot just a minute ago. So I put my sock back on.
That's
Because I was like,
good.
oh, God, I bet Alyssa thinks I'm disgusting. But I did work yesterday, so my feet are kind of stink. I didn't take a shower.
Okay.
So I'm sorry. If it's
Hey,
bad,
man.
I apologize.
It's life.
Okay. I feel shame.
I don't.
I do. I don't know what it is. There's something about it where I'm like, man, if somebody thinks I'm stinky, I feel ashamed. Which I think is normal.
Yeah, no, I get the same way. Like, if I feel like I can smell myself a little bit, I'm like, crap. If I can smell myself, then everybody else can really smell me, right? Because you're used to your own smell.
Yeah, because I got the nose blind.
Right? And then all of a sudden you're like, oh, no. It's like amped up to 1,000.
Yeah. But then again, like, I don't smell like cigarettes or anything like that anymore, so.
Which is good.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if I knew you when you smelled like cigarettes.
I don't know.
Nope. Don't know.
Before Olivia?
Yeah.
You've known me since before Olivia. I quit smoking when Olivia was born.
Yeah,
so
that's true.
that's when.
I probably just, I don't know. I don't go sniffing people. I'm told that that's kind of a weird thing to do.
I beg to differ. I constantly see you sniffing people all the time. On the reg. Sniffmeister. That's what we call you. It's so stupid. It's so dumb. I've never called anybody that ever before. So, yeah, it's good.
But
we could run with it. What's that?
I smell my tanks.
Actually, we were talking about that earlier with the stinky snails.
Yeah,
oh, my God. It is the worst funk when you have, like, a bucket of snails and, like, one dies. And you're like, oh, sweet mother of God. The whole fish room.
If you got, like,
What?
one snail floating on the surface and you'd pick it up with your hand for some reason.
Oh, your hand is ruined.
You might as well just cut your hand off because
You
gone.
need to get a new one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Ram's horns that have died. Like, oh, my God. Or any snail, really, for that matter. But I think specifically ram's horns are extra gross.
Right. Right.
Where
it's ridiculous.
is I don't know. I don't know where my email went. I was going to look at my email because I thought we had like an interesting... Huh? Oh, the electric company sent me an email. Okay. We're cool. We got seller disclosures. All right. So the 2 houses we looked at today, one of them's probably going to be a no-go because I just There's no way I could convince Vicky to move to that house, even though I thought it was pretty sweet. I don't think there's any chance I'm going to be able to convince Vicky, like...
Is it 2 stories?
No. Actually, it was 1 story. But it was like... It's like out in the woods a bit. And it, like, needs some stuff a bit. And it's out in the woods a bit.
Mm-hmm.
There's a bit out there. I really like it. If it was up to me, I'd be like, yeah, let's do it. But we are a team. You know, we're a duo. So...
Yeah, you got to be together on these things.
One.
Yeah.
Yeah. The shop was really big, though.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I like... There's a lot of places that have enclosed, like, RV parking.
Mm-hmm.
And I always get kind of excited. Like, I don't have an RV, and I have no desire to have an RV. But when I see the places that already have, like, RV parking, and I'm like... Free building. You could do just about anything with it.
It's true. It's true.
You could take this gigantic garage door off and put up a wall and some nice, glass doors and stuff and insulate the whole thing and just turn it into whatever you want. A dance studio, fish room, anything.
You can't do a dance studio. It's against the rules.
Nah.
I heard it.
Yeah. Your rules are wrong.
I heard it on the rules, man.
You can't tie me down with your rules.
They had the rules out. And I heard it.
This isn't... What was that show where you're not allowed to dance because it's illegal in the town or whatever?
Oh, Kevin Bacon,
Footloose?
Dirty Dancing. Footloose?
I think
Dirty
it's
Dancing?
Footloose. Dirty Dancing was
Dirty
Patrick
Dancing was
Swayze.
also... You can't dance like that.
That was You Can't Dance Like That, but there was the one with the town had no dancing allowed at all. I think
That's Footloose.
I think it was Footloose, yeah.
But Dirty Dancing was the same thing, basically.
Yeah.
That like, oh, you can't dance because of the Protestants. Remember? Because they're like, oh, these kids' genitals are going to get close to each other. And I always wonder, like, is it real that certain people of a certain age, and maybe it's only Protestants that do this, or Catholics, or deeply religious elderly people, are like, they've completely forgotten, like, just how able-minded and able-bodied, like, 18-year-olds are? Like, just because you outlaw dancing doesn't mean, like, they're not gonna have sex, right? Like, they already have the necessary components to complete said transaction. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's why I was always like, I don't understand legislating around things like abortion. Like I've talked about it on this channel before. It's like, wait, you want to legislate birth control because of your religion, which by the way is crazy. But second of all, it's like you're trying to regulate something that people already have access to because they're a human, right? Like,
it's one of those things that people do when they don't have money.
Right. You're just like, you don't need money for it,
right,
other than the food to replenish your energy.
Right.
Right.
Right. The basics
Yeah.
of being able to remain alive.
You're still going to need those basics.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, like, but I always just thought it was weird, like, how anybody would even be in favor of, like, regulating something like that. You know what I mean? They saw West Side Story and knew that dancing was gang-related. That's right. Yeah. Oh, my God. What's going on? Why is my phone going crazy? Oh, I'm getting notifications. Oh, okay. One of my favorite YouTubers just went live.
Uh-oh.
We're going to delete that. Okay. There we go. We're good. Okay. There we go. Yeah. Sorry. I got distracted. My phone was going off a lot.
Right.
So I had to see, like, wow.
No, I get it.
Is it my baby? Is my baby okay? Everybody's fine.
All right. Sweet. I'm glad everybody is fine.
It was basically like YouTubers are doing something right now. That's basically it.
Yeah. It's
And
like, well, too
oh,
bad.
okay.
Because you're doing something.
But I don't get notifications for that very often, so it's kind of weird when
Yeah.
I do get it.
That's true. It is kind of weird. I only get
I don't have very many channels that are like all notifications. Let me know. It's not many. It's a short list.
Right. Yep. Most of the channels that I follow don't actually send notifications, even though I have them turned on. So, I don't know. It's weird.
You have to go there and hit all.
Yeah, no, I've done that.
It defaults.
Cheese and rice. Man, now Aquarium Zone's making me hungry.
Cheese and rice. More likes than viewers. Nice. We always got to have more likes than viewers. That's how it goes around here. I'll always talk about something that will piss somebody off, and then they leave.
This time it was dancing.
There's no pleasing everybody.
This time
it's not going to happen. People tune in because they're like, I wish you were talking about the specific fish thing that I wanted to hear about at the moment that I tuned in. But you weren't talking about it, so I just got mad and left. You know.
Specific fish questions or fish-related questions.
Yeah, fish-related questions. Fish-related questions. Oh, we don't have any. That is really surprising. Didn't realize the population is so dense there. Do the other big cities have rather small counties? I would think like New York City or something. What's going on?
They've been talking about county sizes and the prices of tabs in said counties.
Oh.
Yeah.
What's the deal?
They're saying that the county that Elhana's in is the biggest county in the country or something.
Which county?
I don't.
Which county's the biggest?
I don't know. I can't pay that much attention and talk.
I don't know.
I just getting gists.
I don't even know. UK, we pay a road tax annually. License plates are just a one-off. Yeah, so licensing cars is part of the taxes that we pay on the roads because I don't know if you guys know this, but the United States is wicked big. It's wicked big, bro. It's as big as the EU, right? We've been over this before. Mm-hmm. And so the licensing fees that you pay for your car registration tabs is applied to the county that you live in. So you register the car at your home location, and then people, depending on the county that you live in, certain levies will be applied to that registration because, like, let's say they need to rebuild a bridge or redo a road or something like that. So the system sort of makes sense. It also funds things like buses and transit and stuff like that, which is why we don't have very good busing systems or public transit here, because those levies get put onto the car tabs and then they get removed by new legislation that gets brought up by our citizens because they get mad. So in Washington State, where we both live, in the past, and this might have been before you even moved here.
Possibly.
There's this idiot named Tim Eyman who is... It's actually a compliment to say that he's an idiot because it's actually an upgrade from what he actually is. He brought up this legislation to make the car tabs $35 because back then, car tabs were applied on the value of your vehicle. You were taxed on the value of your vehicle. It's called an excise tax. So if your vehicle cost, and I believe below a certain number was the same for everybody. So if your car was worth like $10,000 or and under, it was just the same. Like you didn't get any kind of excise tax fee. But if you owned like $100,000 car, oh, well, you can afford to pay a little bit more because you own an excessively expensive car, right? You don't own basic transportation.
Right.
You own a flamboyantly expensive vehicle.
Right.
Right. And so it was applied like that. So guess who got mad?
The people who have flamboyantly expensive vehicles.
The rich people.
And also the ones who can buy fancy dinner plates.
Yes. And so the people with money were mad about it.
Yep.
That you had to pay some extra taxes. So when the idiot, Tim Eyman, applied this, the car tab should be a flat $35 fee.
Right.
Guess who was vocalizing their opinion? all the rich people. The poor people didn't seem to care that much about it because they were like, oh, I'll just still be paying whatever base car tab fee I pay now.
Right.
Well, here's the problem. The excise tax was paying for all sorts of services that people wanted to continue, like busing, like the transit system was basically funded by it.
Yeah.
WIC, which is women and children.
Women, infant children.
Women, infant children. Food.
And other things.
It's like food supplement, basically. If you end up being a single mom and you ain't got no money, you can get milk and eggs and stuff like that so you don't starve to death, which
right.
I'm a fan of people not starving to death. God, wow, look at me. I'm just a hero, aren't I?
Weird.
A lot of those programs went away because people, no matter how much you tried to explain to people, like, this $180 you're paying a year goes to fund a whole bunch of projects that we all like and we all want. Well, it passed. That bill passed so that car tabs were only $35. And all those projects were all underfunded and started going away.
Yeah.
Because of austerity measures, right? So, yeah, it's been a real struggle, and that guy continues every time like a new tax gets added on to the car. He comes up with another bill to strip the taxes off it again.
Yep.
So Aqua Blue Bear says here you pay tax based on the emissions of the car. That is only county by county in Washington State.
We used to do that, I think.
Well, we used to get emissions
tested.
Emissions tested. They recently got rid of that just this last year during the pandemic, or the year before, 2020. The pandemic started, and they were like, we can't have everybody coming in for emissions. It's time to get rid of this because they really weren't finding enough emissions violators to really justify doing it. Sticking a meter up the tailpipe of your car to find out if it's functioning properly or not, because the cars all meet the emissions standards now, basically.
Yeah.
It's like 1 out of... I don't remember the exact statistic, but it was something like 1 out of 5,000 cars was out of...
I remember
which was funky. But here's the thing. That 1 out of 5,000 cars, you just drive over to a mechanic and you say, I failed my emissions. And the mechanic goes, cool, that'll be $180, and I'll give you this receipt that says it's going to cost more to fix your emissions. So then you drive back over to the emissions place, you give them that receipt, and then they give you a pass because it's going to cost too much to fix your car. So they're like, yeah, we need to just get rid of this. This is just a bunch of stupid nonsense. But in Washington State, it depended on what county your car was registered in. So like Douglas County in eastern Washington, they never had emissions. So I know people that would register their car over at a piece of property in Douglas County because they didn't have to do emissions. Your car tabs, remember, your car registration was like super cheap because nothing was funded in Douglas County because it was
just
it's cowboys
out there.
It's cowboys out there.
Yeah.
And so yeah, it's just one of those things. It's a weird, interesting topic, but to me, but I'm sure it's probably boring to all sorts of people. They're like, who cares? Batch 305 says the people who can afford to pay taxes are the ones who complain the most about paying them. Yeah, it's because they have access to complaining about paying for them. People were wondering why Hassan Piker, if you know who Hassan Piker is, a very famous Twitch streamer.
Oh.
You probably recognize him.
Maybe.
But either way, he's very, very famous Twitch streamer, but people are like, why is he so famous? Well, because his uncle owns the Young Turks.
Okay,
right?
I've heard of that.
That's his uncle. And so he got his start making like short videos for Facebook. And so they were doing all that, and then he started streaming on Twitch, and he started streaming on Twitch 12 hours a day. Right.
Wow.
And it's because it's from a position of, like, he can afford to do that because, like, he just has money.
Right.
Right? Because you're in a position of, well, I just have money and stuff, so I don't have to do any other stuff.
Right. So you can just watch somebody. You can essentially watch your sim guy running around and doing stuff and not actually interact with it at all. Or maybe give him suggestions like, hey, man, maybe wash your hands after you go to the bathroom.
You should wash your hands after you go to the bathroom, regardless of who you are. Everyone should.
Yeah.
Just wash your damn hands, fools.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like, but it's just a perfect example of, like, when you have money, you have access to a bunch of things. It's just how it is. I'm not necessarily complaining about it. It's more just like, that's why those bills pass, is because people that can spend time sort of what's the word I'm thinking of here, like proselytizing about their thing, you know, it's generally from a position of I don't know, what's the word I'm thinking of here, privilege. It's kind of a privileged position, right?
Right.
Where you're like
because you need to have the time available in the day in order to do that.
Right.
This is similar to why I've heard of people talking about or trying to figure out why there were so many protests and stuff during the Black Lives Matter movement. Like, it was one of the biggest protest movements in America and stuff. Well, it happened during the COVID shutdowns. So people actually had the ability to go and do that. They weren't going to get fired from their job for demonstrating in the street because they were not working at that time. And
well, I don't know if that's like the only factor. I think it's a contributing factor.
It's a contributing factor. It makes it a lot easier to be able to go like, there have been a lot of people who are like, why are you, not out in the streets protesting? I'm like, because I don't get paid time off.
Right.
This stuff is happening in the middle of the day when I am working in order to try to pay my bills with money that I earn by exploiting my own labor for that purpose.
Right.
And I agree with the reasons why you're protesting for stuff or whatever, demonstrating or out in the streets holding signs or whatever the heck. And good for you. I can't do that. And they'd be like, well, you just got to go to this one thing. And I'm like, okay, but there's one thing every week.
Oh, yeah. I don't know, man. You seem a little bit agitated.
I know.
That's something I didn't tell you to do.
I know.
Right.
I'm not yelling at you.
You see, you're mad at me. You're yelling at me? I never told you to go protest anything.
I know. I used to know a lot, or used to hang out with a lot more people who were very, very motivated to go out with signs and stuff and do the marching and whatever.
Hey man, I'm all for civil protests for sure, 100%. Go for it. But when it comes down to it, like, if you don't have any actual political efficacy, it doesn't matter like what you've done.
Right.
Like, as far as yelling in the street, because I mean, just the same as the stupid Canadian truckers, right? The stupid trucker rally, whatever the hell that was. They didn't even know what they wanted done. Like, they wanted the government out. Like, that was one of the things that they wrote down, was like, we want the government out. We want the government to step down and resign. And you're like, why? What's the plan? You have no plan. That's you saying you have no plan. Everyone out there should quit and leave. Like, okay. Well, that's not going to happen. So what are you talking about? You know? Like,
right.
You know, and I honestly, you know, as far as like politics go, I try to apply some kind of thought process behind like what could be a better application as to what is happening now. And a perfect example of it, that especially during Black Lives Matter, that was like wildly confused, is the messaging of like defund the police, right?
Right.
Like, it's and which the reason that people would say defund the police is because it gets a reaction out of people, right? It gets a reaction out of the people that didn't care. Huh? Oh my God, they want to defund the police. And it's like, oh, hey, let's talk now. We're not talking about defunding the police. We're talking about stop spending the money on tanks, for instance. Right? Like, you don't need an all-terrain tank assault vehicle. Let's put it into training so that our cops can do better on the street for them and for everybody else. And so it's like, well, why don't you have a good message? Oh, I don't know. Everybody's just out here yelling, so we're going to try to come up with something. But I'm all for political protests if you have, like, something that you could really do for it. And one of the examples I've always utilized is the stupid car tab thing, right?
Right.
It's like everybody was talking about it, and it passed, and they had to implement it. Because guess what? Everybody voted on it, So my whole thing is like, can we get more people that are willing to write up and advocate for a piece of legislation that's going to fix a thing, right? A lot of people were pissed about the HR 421 or 4521 with the Lacey Act amendments on it, and it was like, I'm trying to argue from the position of, we don't have the resources right now to even enforce any of the restrictions that we want, right? So what restrictions do you want? And the answer I always got was none. We don't want any restrictions. Just leave it the way it is. And we go, okay, if we leave it the way that it is, we got a lot of problems.
Yeah.
We got a lot of problems that are only going to get worse, right? If we leave it the way it is, what do we do about when the problem gets worse? And their answer was, we'll just deal with that when it happens. Like, okay. We talked about the fact that I used to smoke cigarettes. I understand the thought process behind that. Like, I'll think about it when the COPD kicks in, right?
Right.
Or when the lung cancer kicks in, or when the emphysema kicks in, or when the whatever, because it's an imaginary future that you don't have to worry about, right?
Yeah.
You're like, I know this is bad for me, but I'm just doing it, and that's what's happening. Oh my God, it's Grandma! Stay out of here. Is that Grandma? Are you on the air? Is that Grandma? Yeah, we're alive. Grandma's trying to bust in here.
She's coming down.
Oh God, she's coming down. She's coming on the show. Watch out, Grandma's here. Hi, Mom.
I'm gonna go get Libby.
Hi, it's my mom.
Hello, Joel.
Hi, Mom. Are you gonna go get the O-Bear?
Yes.
Okay. Did you get the seat?
I see it out there.
Yeah.
And Joel, can Brad borrow your truck? He wants to go hit some golf balls.
He wants to borrow my truck?
Yeah.
Yeah, my keys are in my jacket is hung up on the hook by the back door,
Okay.
and then are in the right-hand pocket.
Okay. I'll be back in a little bit.
Okay. That's my mom. My mom just interjected with her presence. I guess she didn't really say anything. She didn't bring any hot takes to the show.
No, that's okay.
I do want her to come on sometime so we can talk about medical stuff, because she spent
Lots of
50
nursing
years 50 years doing that.
That's a long time, man. To do
47 or something. Yeah,
It's
like
still a long
48.
time.
She was going to do 50, but then we had a baby. Not you and I.
No,
We have yet to have a baby.
that's not going to happen.
It's not going to. Well, hey, man, the future's crazy, bro.
No.
The plan is we're going to freeze the essence, right? We're going to freeze some of your eggs, and then we're going to set a timer on it for 1,000 years from now. Is that how that works?
We're going to do some Futurama baby shit.
Yeah. Is that something that could be done? Don't know.
Could.
It just, the thought occurred to me of
There's
like
always that
writing a wacky
theoretical.
Well, the thought occurred to me of writing a wacky YouTube video about it, which would be funny.
Huh.
Which is why I brought it up, because then somebody will bring this up later, and I'll remember, like, oh yeah, I was gonna make a funny YouTube video about that. I don't know.
And
anyhow,
the kid's name will be Fry.
so, like, so what we were talking about. Where did my train of thought go? Anyhow, of all the goofing around, but my thought process is typically associated around, like, how can legislation get proposed that can implement the community action in which we want for the future, right? And that's why I was joking about that because of the imaginary future that doesn't exist, right? The imaginary future that doesn't exist right now is if there's no regulation and it continues to be the Wild West like it is right now, places like, having gone to Peru, places like that are going to continue to be exploited for their natural resources, as opposed to implementing specific processes that can protect what we would like to carry into the future. For instance, like sustainable fisheries, right? So that the fish continue to exist in the wild and in the hobby. Like, and we know that if you want to have some chickens, right, for instance, there's already a robust supply line of a bunch of people paying attention to what is happening within the chickens that are being distributed, right? If I go to the farm supply store, I go, hey, when are you going to have chickens in? They go, oh, let me check the calendar. Oh, it looks like March 20th or whatever.
Right.
We'll have these 5 different kinds of chickens. They're coming in on this date. These are the breeds. These are the types.
I like the Americana ones.
Americana.
The ones that lay the blue eggs.
Yeah, they call it Easter eggers, bruh.
Yeah. But I thought they were also called the Americano or Americana.
We have Black Dominiques. We have Barf Uppingtons, Barf Wuppingtons, Barf Uppingtons, Barf Whoopingtons.
Huh.
I don't know how to say that right now. And blue Australorps. Those are the 3 types of chickens we have.
Cool.
The blue Australorps are the new ones, and I'm not sure what kind of eggs they lay.
Huh.
I don't know.
It'll be fun to find out.
We're going to find out. They're going to start laying soon. Or maybe they already are, and they just happen to be brown, like the other ones.
Who knows?
I like brown eggs more than I like white eggs. I'm telling you. They taste better.
It's fun. It's fun. It's like when
In my mind, farm eggs are brown.
Right.
Right?
Right, but it's the same thing as like if you get like if you just happen to really like blue and I just happen to really like red and there's the same exact cake. The batter is split into 2 cakes and there's 2 cakes that are made and one of them is frosted with blue and the other one is frosted with red.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I could be like, I swear the red one is tastier.
Well, everyone knows that like red food dye tastes better than blue food dye. That's how you get the red devil cake.
Yeah.
Because it's a red food dye, which makes it good.
Mm-hmm.
Although I do realize there is other stuff put in there. You know.
Yeah, well. It is funny though, the red
Does
velvet
red taste
cake.
better? Does red taste better than
However,
blue?
I must say that my favorite slushy flavor is blue.
Oh.
Or icy.
Is it blue raspberry?
I don't know. It's just blue.
Yeah. There was some point in time where some weirdo came out with the blue raspberry flavor, and we all just like, yeah, all right, man. Cool.
The one time that my family went on like a vacation, we went to Disney World, and we went to, I don't know, someplace to eat within Disney World, and you could get a blue mocktail for kids,
Mm-hmm.
and it was very delicious. And I've always just kind of associated it, the color, the blue. If it's a blue and it's a drink, it's going to be delicious no matter what. Like it could taste like battery acid, and I would probably still instinctively think that it was blue.
Right.
I'd still reach for it every time. I think, like, wasn't there like a blue Mountain Dew for a while?
Right.
It was the only Mountain Dew that I would ever drink.
The blue Mountain Dew?
Yep.
Ugh.
But I don't like Mountain Dew, but I would drink it because it was blue.
I don't like pop.
Yeah. I don't like...
Or soda, or whatever you guys want to call it.
I'm not a carbonated beverage person now. I don't
I
like
only
my
used- the
water
only-
sparkling.
The only carbonated beverage I used to like was beer.
I
I don't drink beer anymore.
do not
2000,
like beer.
how many days was it? 2,800 and... Hold on, where'd it go? It's over here somewhere. Oh, God, there's my taxes again. 2,845 days since I've had a beer.
That's a long time.
I tried a kombucha the other day because Vicky likes those. Oh, hell no, brother. Hell no. I was so triggered. Bro.
Really?
So triggered. I don't know how other people use trigger, but I was legit like, oh. It just reminded me of beer. Like,
Ugh.
it was just like, oh my God, what is wrong with you? I think that's what I said. Something like that. And I was like, that just reminds me of beer. That's disgusting. I don't know. I'm physically against that.
I am just a person who's just never liked it.
There's one brand that I like. I cannot remember the name of it, so I guess it's kind of a dumb story. I know what the bottle looks like, though.
Oh,
There's
of
a yellow
beer?
cap. No,
Oh,
kombucha.
kombucha.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
It's like mangoes and something. There's like a certain brand that I like. And I never buy it because I'm like, I don't understand what's going on with this kombucha crap. It's just like, here's some fungus mold drink thing to make you feel better or whatever.
nah.
But I used to work out and then slam a kombucha right after the fact. And you get sweaty and all like, all crazy if you drink it super fast. You're supposed to sip it. You're not supposed to drink it fast. But I'm an insane person and just kind of put myself through way too much trauma at every turn.
I don't know. I've had too many people tell me that if I just tried like every kind of beer in the world, eventually I would find one that I like. And I was like, how about if I just not? It seems like a lot of money wasted.
I'm going to be honest, there probably is a beer that you would like. It's most likely like a raspberry tremens or something like that, which just tastes like, it literally tastes like, I don't even know how to describe it. You would like it.
Probably.
Like everyone that hated beer, I'd have them try something like that, and they're like, "Oh, this is awesome!" Yeah, it's like,
yeah, the kind that have actual
and then
flavor in it and not just hops.
So
yeah.
that bar that we had rotating taps. It was like a beer nerd bar. But that was one of those things where like, you give one of those to people and they'd be like, "Oh, cool, I'm gonna have another one." And it's like, no, you cannot have another one. And you're like, why not? And you're like, you don't know how drunk you are right now. And they'd be like, have you stood up since you drank that? And they're like, no. Like, stand up and like, oh God, I'm drunk. Yeah, like, yeah, you can't have 3 of those. Can't have 2 of those. You can have 1.
Yeah.
And some water now.
Yeah, no. It's not.
Those Trappist monk beers, they're like 17%.
I just don't think it's worth it, really, for me to go and try to find a beer.
Nah, that's a big pain.
Right. It's a big pain. It's a lot of money. And
ice water's in the fridge right up there.
Right. And like, and my guy, he's sober. He's like 10 and a half years sober now. And I'm like, there's really no need for me to go.
Justin's a sober guy.
Yeah.
Is he like inadvertently sober or just
Oh, no.
on purpose?
It's on purpose.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
High fives.
I know. He looks all young and stuff. And then you're like, dang, you've been. Okay.
Well, he is young.
He is young.
That's why he looks young.
Yeah.
Because of the youth
36.
factor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's 36.
I thought he was like 33.
Nah. It's funny because a lot of people say that to him. They'll be like, oh, I thought you were like 30. And he'll be like, really?
Do they get all winded? Oh God. Oh.
No, he's like the old man on his team at work. Because
Oh.
he's 36.
Because of the Utes?
Yeah, because they're all like, well,
They're all
we
like-
just graduated from college
they're all
2
like-
years ago.
C++ programmer nerds. Like, oh, look at the market influx. Oh.
Right.
You're like, all right, nerd, get out of here.
Yeah.
There's supposedly a lot of probiotics inside of kombucha, which is good for gut health. So if you're into that kind of thing, go on ahead and try you some.
But,
Yeah,
I mean, I could just have a yogurt.
Well, most yogurt these days, though, here's the problem. Most yogurt these days have so much sugar in it that it doesn't have any probiotic.
Oh, well, you
Yeah.
got to get the kind that's made for that.
Yeah, it's like plain
Plain Greek yogurt.
plain.
The kind that makes your mouth all feel weird.
Yeah, I don't like that.
It's not
It's
my
too much.
favorite, but it is good with some cinnamon on it.
And sugar?
No, You can't put sugar on it.
Honey? I'm putting honey on it, okay? And you can deal with it.
You could get some brown sugar and some maple syrup and some honey and
Some
just put it
scissor.
all in there and just kind of stir it a little bit. And then you get some cinnamon and some nutmeg and you get yourself a deal right there.
And a stick of butter.
Yes. Just not melted. You just stick it right in the center.
Yeah, for dipping.
Yes, just...
It's Midwest yogurt. It's got maple syrup, it's got honey, it's got sugar, and a stick of butter in it. Hey, man, I didn't invent the deep fried butter, okay?
I know.
Those were other humans.
No, I know. And I know those people.
Don't get mad at me.
That was at the Minnesota State Fair,
Don't get mad at me because I'm making fun of Minnesota, okay? Minnesota's making fun of itself.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just pointing it out.
I think we started the deep fried candy bar thing, too.
I'm just pointing and laughing, okay?
It's really funny.
Which I guess could be described as negative behavior. But
The
so is
only
deep
thing-
frying butter.
The only thing that I kind of miss as far as like weird comfort foods that we have in Minnesota, like everywhere, anywhere you go. And then at like as far as a restaurant or the fair or whatever, and then you come out here and you're like, you mean your cheese curds are just like fresh and like hanging out in the way?
Yeah.
Why aren't you scooping it out and dipping it in batter and deep frying it like a normal person? And then people are like, why would you do that? We just want you to put it in your mouth and have it go squish, squish, squish in there. And I'm like, no, freaking deep fry it. What's wrong with you? And they're like, that's a weird concept. I'm like, have you not been anywhere outside of here? Is this like the healthy version of cheese curds? It's cheese curds.
It has to be on French fries and gravy, too.
I think that's poutine.
Yes.
I think that's Canada.
You do realize that, like,
Minnesota's
Those-
like little Canada.
Canada is like little Minnesota.
No, it's like big.
Those are the same people. Somebody just drew a line in the ground. They're the same people. Do you think the cows don't wander across the border? It's the same thing. Same people. Which is more to my point of combining North Dakota and South Dakota. That's just Dakota now.
Uh-huh. Well,
Then-
then we would condense the amount of states.
No,
So we don't have enough
Hold on.
for the
hold on.
stars. And
Let me
then-
say my piece. Because we got to have 50. 'Cause
Yeah.
We've decided that 50 is a round number,
Uh-huh.
and we all like it.
We
for
already
some
got
reason.
the flags.
We got the flags. Even though this is like the 18th iteration of the flag or whatever. There's a million different ones.
Don't want to buy new ones. Nobody likes buying flags.
Which is funny because I actually used an older flag in one of my thumbnails for YouTube, and people actually recognized which one it was.
Ooh.
They're like, "You're using the 48-star flag," and I'm like, "Yeah, I am." Surprised you got it.
Sacrilege.
Yeah, that's when I lost. I think I lost like 400 subscribers that day. It's because it was about Biden getting elected.
Oh.
Yeah, and people were like, "Oh, I'm unsubscribing because I love the rich kid from New York who was raised by like a Nazi rich guy."
Right.
Nazi sympathizer, sorry. He wasn't an actual Nazi. He was just a big fan of them.
Right.
They like that. They like that rich kid from New York. They really like that guy. He just makes a whole lot of sense for them. He feels them. He knows. He teaches. He preaches to them. They know. They know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But I lost a lot of subscribers because I got mad over that. But the whole point is to point out that like it hasn't been that long since anybody has gotten any, or it was. We had 48 states when women got the right to vote. You know.
Yep.
Which might be troubling to some people if they recognize like because they go, well, it was 100 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
That 100 years ago is a long time ago. So whatever, you know. But I'm like, yeah, but it's not that long ago. It was 100 years ago, 1920.
Was it?
It's 102 years ago or something. Yeah.
Huh.
1920.
Was it the
Women's suffrage, the right to
right?
vote.
So then the segregation ended in the 70s, or was more or less
Segregation ended with the Civil Rights Act in 1964.
right?
Um,
My
64, 65?
American history. The lines are
Well, that's the
fuzzy.
crazy thing to think about it. Like, women have only been allowed to vote for 100 years.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's wild. And
Yep.
people are just like, oh, that was 1,000,000 years ago. Don't worry about it. You know, and you're like, that,
I'm worried about it.
yeah. You know, like when my grandma was born, it was like a crazy thing that women's was voting, right?
Mm-hmm.
And she's still alive.
That's pretty cool. How old is your grandma?
96.
Nice.
She's so old.
Is she moving around, walking places?
She lives on her own. You
Nice.
have no idea.
No, I don't. I don't know your grandma.
Yeah, you should meet her. She's 1,000,000 years old.
That's
She
awesome.
lives by herself. We went and visited with her the other day because, as was described to me, she said, well, you know, when polio was going around, I just didn't catch it. And then, you know, people would catch all those flus, and, you know, your grandpa, he would catch it. Whenever the flu came in, he would catch it. He would be sick. Me, it just never really bothered me. And then, what else was she talking about? TB, some other stuff. I don't know. She kept talking about all these diseases, crazy diseases that have happened, and they just haven't really bothered her. And she's like, well, you know, the COVID's going around, but, you know, I mean, I got vaccinated for it, and, you know, I assume it's probably going to pass me by like all the other ones have, you know? And then I was like, well, let's not assume that, but okay.
Right.
You know, so I'm talking with her, and, you know, probably like a week later, I was talking to her on the phone, and she goes, she said something to me that was like very paramount in my mind, is that, you know, we were having a discussion, and she goes like, I don't know why I'm still alive. Like in a very like earnest way of like, I don't know why I'm here. Like, I have no use.
Oh.
Well, no, I mean, like, that's who she is.
Yeah.
She's like, I don't have a job. I don't have anybody to take care of. All my friends are dead. And she's like, I don't know why I'm here. And I'm like, I don't know why you're here either, Grandma, but this is kind of sad, but
Yeah.
let's hang out, you know, because we got COVID over Christmas, and so we couldn't do Christmas, and then we kept having to put it off to like go see her, and then eventually she was like, look, if you have COVID, just come over. I don't even know why I'm alive. So if I die, it's not a big deal. Like, just come over. That's it. And I'm not saying that she has a death wish, because she doesn't. She's just like, if I die, it would be normal. And she's like, I just want to meet my granddaughter. She hadn't met my granddaughter. I hadn't met Olivia yet. And she was like, I just want to meet my granddaughter. And yeah, so it was like kind of one of those things where I'm just like, okay, you're the matriarch of the family, so you say come over, we're coming over. All right. Which is funny because when I talked with my dad, he goes, hey, if you're gonna go visit your grandma, let me know before you go so I can go over there, because she has to walk all the way out to let you in and like open the gate and stuff and this and that and the other thing. And I was talking with her, I go like, well, Dad says I'm supposed to call him so he can come open the door for you or whatever or something. She's like, well, that's nonsense. Don't, that's stupid. I'll walk out there. So she comes out. But like 10 years ago, she fell off of a ladder changing light bulbs in her house, broke her hip and her shoulder, went to the hospital, got it repaired, went straight back to living on her own, like while still healing. She was like, I don't need to be in the hospital. Yeah. It's crazy.
Yeah.
She's, you know.
That is nuts.
It's like she's had surgery. Like, she's had surgery on stuff. So, like, she had this cyst that grew behind her eye.
Oh.
Right?
Yeah.
And so she was talking about it. Like, oh, yeah, when I had that big cyst behind my eye, I had that operated on and got it taken out. And then she had to get it taken out again because they didn't, you know, technology was not as good.
Right.
And
it
so,
grew back.
yeah. And then, so she had to get it taken out, and she's like, well, I can't really see out of this eye anymore because of that. Da, da, da. She still drives a car. She's 96, bro. She complains because she doesn't know where she's going. We moved her to Washington from Idaho.
Mm-hmm.
And her biggest gripe is that she has no idea where she's going. I don't know any of these roads. I don't know where I'm going. I want to go out and I kind of want to go around and do stuff and but I don't know where I'm going and I don't want to get lost. And I'm like, you're 96.
Right.
Somebody else should be driving you. You know what I mean? Like, what is going on here, dude? So, I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
I'm trying to work up a video series with her where I can go interview her and film her.
Mm-hmm.
It's still a long drive to get up there, so we're trying to work that out, figuring out a schedule to do that because I want to interview her about like World War II and just all this stuff because she has some real strong insight to what it actually was like, you know, segregation, what redlining housing districts, what that was actually like.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because a lot of that stuff is just super whitewashed now, to the point where, you know, they try to act like everything was passively racist. I don't know if you've ever noticed this, but like a lot of how stories are told about America now is that like, oh, it was just, you know, it was like kind of racist or whatever, you know, and it's like, no, people were like openly crazy, wild racists, you know, and like segregation was ended in 1965, which means that my mom, the grandma who interrupted the show here,
Mm-hmm.
was totally alive for that and not like a kid.
Yeah.
She was like 20
Yeah.
or 15 or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
right? You know, so it's like to act like those people that threw rocks at the black kids that came to the white schools, do you think they're not around? They're still here. They're still around.
Yep.
They're not gone. They're just rich now.
Yeah.
And they want to make car tabs be $35 so that there's no more buses. So they don't have to pay for people's buses.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And so that kind of stuff is very problematic, you know, like, and I don't know how we could possibly think about addressing these kinds of issues. Like if we don't like hit them head on, as opposed to acting like, well, I guess we're doing Black History Month or something, right? Like it's just,
Right.
you know, like it's just more pandering of I'm yelling in the street and hopefully somebody will figure out some legislation. So I mean, my whole thing is like trying to get people motivated to do actual legislation, just like people were super pissed about the proposed legislation to improve the Lacey Act. You know, like if nothing gets the ball rolling, the ball just sits and rots and it doesn't go anywhere. Nothing ever happens. So that's, you know, one of my big reasons for being a proponent of that legislation is you provide funding, you provide motivation, you apply a thing to getting something to start happening so that some people can engage with it. Because like I mentioned earlier in the show, like if you don't have money, nothing happens in the United States.
Right.
So a lot of this stuff all just boils down to money and whether or not people have the time to actually work on it or not, you know, and most people don't, because that's the reality we live in. Like most people ain't got time for it.
Right. 'Cause they can't, because if they try to, then they're going to lose their, like they're too busy working 70 hours a week just to try to make ends meet, because houses are $1 million. And yeah. So I'm sort of stuck in a cycle of poverty.
It's a little weird.
Yep.
All right. Well, we are 2 hours in. Did anybody have anything that you wanted to talk about?
Oh, Hannah says you should take your grandma to whirly ball.
She's a little old for that.
Well, she's only got the one eye.
It's a little
She's probably
violent.
going to miss the ball.
It's a little violent, crashing bumper cars together.
Plus, if you don't have the depth perception, it's hard to catch a ball.
I don't know. She's 96. She's not. It's not for her.
I know.
You know. What do we got? Batch. America is incredibly dysfunctional. Yes, it's true.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And you know, it's an overall systemic problem. That's why people talk about systemic problems and how they are an issue. You know, but then it's like, oh, it sounds like it's too big. You know, once you say that something is systemic, it's like, well, yeah, but we can incrementally improve things. We got 2 new members today on the Patreon. We didn't get any new members on YouTube, but we got Lorcan, Tom Wing, and Jack. I think Jack is that's his full name on YouTube normally, but we'll just say Jack, just in case he doesn't want his.
Yeah, well, you don't know Jack.
They don't want their last name out there. Nobody called in on Patreon or on Discord, so we're gonna hang up now and go away from there. If for whatever reason people don't like calling in and yelling at me anymore, I don't know what's going on. What's the deal?
I don't know. It's hard to call in and yell at you when we're already getting yelled at by me.
That's true. Constantly being yelled at by you. Joseph Stanley says Joel's just scared of his grandma kicking his butt. You're missing a T there, bro. You're missing some grammar. You know? That's all I'm saying. I'm not scared of her kicking my butt because I'm way more powerful than her. She's shrinking. She's old.
Yeah.
She's not gonna win.
But she got old people energy. She don't care anymore. She doesn't care if she lives or dies. She could come after you.
Yeah, I mean, she weighs like 80 pounds. Yeah. She's like tiny. She's a shrinking
You just
old
pick
lady.
her up and hold her. Just
Yeah.
put her in your pocket.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, very easy.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I mean that's just basic mechanics. I'm 41 years old. She's
Uh-huh.
yeah. I would just simply win. I just would simply win.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's it.
Mm-hmm.
Alana says, I don't know what you want me to yell at you for. Hey, man, it's up to you. It's up to you. Dealer's choice. Zip Gun put together my bookcase today. All right. All right. Why is Joseph Stanley not a member? Joseph should be a member, I think. I don't know how to honorary member people. I can't make you a moderator. That would offend all the other moderators.
Right.
We don't even have any other. We didn't even have any moderators in the chat today. Where are all my mods? I don't even have any mods. Oh, Joel G was here. Okay, we're safe.
I know Zip was asking about glass substrates.
Aquarium Co-op was here earlier, but I didn't notice. So, sorry, Kobe. I didn't notice you were here.
I don't even know what you would use for a glass substrate.
What's that?
So Zip was asking about a glass substrate, like some sort of substrate made out of glass.
What, like those glass marbles or something?
Like the smash marbles that they use in vases and stuff.
I guess.
I mean, you could use that. That's what a lot of people do with like
a lot
their...
of people do those for breeding because you want egg scatterers to drop the eggs down there and then the fish can't eat them.
Mm-hmm.
So you could do that, just glass marble or whatever.
Yeah, and I used to do that with like bettas because that was the thing at the time. Maybe it still is. I don't know. I don't know why Zip wants glass, but I kind of want to know, and I'm hoping that he will.
What's that?
Let us know what it is that he's planning to do with a glass substrate. And I don't know if he wants a glass gravel. If that is something that he's looking for,
or is it like volcanic glass?
I don't know.
Like a volcanic substrate?
Because that would be
Because, you
cool.
know, like EcoComplete, EcoComplete, what's the other one?
ADA?
No. Vitagrow or whatever? I don't know. They sell that at the co-op. I can't remember the name of it. It's like EcoComplete. It's the other one. Hold on. I'm looking it up.
Okay.
Oh, my God. I'm going to look it up on Amazon. And remember, guys, if you click on an Amazon link, we're affiliate sponsored by Amazon. So that's a thing. Let's see. EcoComplete substrate. Well, it's EcoComplete. That's the one I'm thinking about. I've never tried the Landon. I've always wanted to try the Landon to see how it works. Fluorite? Oh. Yeah, fluorite black is glass because that's a crushed volcanic. What's the other one?
Okay.
I think it's just EcoComplete.
He's trying to he wants something that's like a clear so he can light it from below.
Oh, clear so you can light it from below?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're just looking for any kind of glass thing that's marbleized.
But he wants it to be like gravel. Maybe look into crushed, what's it called? Quartz.
What does he want?
He wants like a clear gravel, so it looks like aquarium gravel, so that he can light it from below.
Oh, for lighting from down below?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, Joseph Stanley's a member. He said, oh, and that's a perfect explanation. See how easy that was? I feel I've told you I needed the link before. I need to get a bot. Where's my mods? My mods are supposed to be spamming links constantly, just like on Twitch. You guys ever notice that? You ever go into Twitch and the chat's just flying by, but every single thing that's on there is like, buy my merch, buy a TV shirt, join up today, do a thing, go over here, join up on my website, join up on my website chat, join up on the other thing, and you're like, oh my God, your bots are turned up to 500. Like, this is crazy. Is there anybody actually? Am I the only person watching this and the robot machines? Maybe. Might be it.
It's just advertising just to you. And sea glass. Yeah,
So,
I thought about sea glass, Elhana, but
Yeah, I mean,
crushed glass, you'd think that would be all sharp.
I
So
feel
you'd
like
have to crush it and then tumble it.
yeah, I mean, I feel like crushed glass would be out of control.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is, like,
Unless it was
everything that
safety glass.
everything that you put in there is basically going to be like super inert.
Yeah.
So, like, I guess it doesn't matter as long as it's just like whatever glass thing. Here's a link to something that's like kind of interesting. It's like tumbled rockery stuff that Hilichi green agate. Yeah, so these are agates. So these are just tumbled agates. And this will be totally fine. You could put this in a fish tank and it wouldn't be a problem. It's not going to do anything other than create like surface area and probably have some extra biofilm.
I think that's all he wants. Like, he just is
yeah.
looking for something that's clear that he can show his cool, pretty lights through. He's probably doing some kind of sweet display.
Is it going to be a sweet display? Do we
I
know,
assume
do we know
so.
that?
We'll just assume that it is because it's zip gun. Fireplace glass.
You could probably do fireplace glass, but that stuff's all shardy. It's like all pointy and shards. See, here's some right here. See how it's all like kind of... Here, I'll share it in the chat.
Okay.
Be sure to follow our Amazon link and then go buy whatever stuff you got to go over there and buy, like groceries or whatever, because we're an affiliate sponsor. It doesn't change your price, but it gives us a commish if you buy stuff from there. What's our most interesting thing? What do you think our most interesting thing on our commission sheet this month is?
Underwear. I don't know. I'm just guessing.
It,
I don't have
underwear
access
has
to it.
definitely been on there. Maybe not this time around, but I'm going to give it a little read here. Rubbermaid stuff? Okay.
I don't know.
A
The
talking clock
fireplace.
keychain.
The fireplace glass doesn't look like it's bad. It looks like it's crushed up bottles to me.
Oh my God, guys. Everything on here is like totally reasonable this month. DIY magnets, magic erasers, digital thermometer, Bluetooth headphones, CO2 diffuser. This is all just like normal stuff. Nobody has ordered anything weird this month. So somebody go out there and order something weird so I can just straight up laugh about it. I'm not going to say anything specific, but there's some freaks following my channel. That's all I'm saying. Which, admittedly, I'm a fan of. Why not?
Yeah, why not?
Right? Right. Let's see. Mac Mountaineer says, lol, so funny how you're making fun of people trying to make money on the internet. Remember when I called you out for begging? Total silence on that front. Is it total silence on that front? It's weird that you would watch my channel and only ever... only ever comment. So it's weird. Like, you clearly have been watching my channel for a while. Yeah, feeling kind of confrontational after happy hour is your other comment. And your other comment is, you guys know everything about everything, so much smarter than us normal folk. How do you get so smarter than me? Hashtag pretentious. Well, here's the problem. You just said it in your comments. You're feeling confrontational after happy hour. So what were you doing with your day today? Did you go to your job and then go to the bar and get half drunk and then start commenting on the internet about how other people are pretentious? Did you go get half drunk at happy hour and then drive home? Is that what you're up to, Mac?
I hope not.
What are you up to, Mac? What are you really up to in life? Is that what's going on? There's really no obstruction from you starting your own YouTube channel. You could start one right now if you wanted to. But here you are. Right now, commenting on my YouTube channel. What is it that you do with your life? What are you up to? Do we have that information? Is there information that we could work with here? Because the only information we have is that you went to happy hour and then you're mad that other people are on the internet. So yeah, I do occasionally make fun of things like a Twitch chat flying by with all sorts of bots on it. Because I think that that's easy to make fun of. And it's easy to make fun of people programming their computer programs to just spam their own chat with stuff, which I don't have on here. I could easily get a spam bot. They're free. I could program one to put the link up there constantly and nonstop. Mm-hmm. My channel is funded by people that watch it, and I'm appreciative of those people. So if you think my appreciation of those people is somehow obtuse or pretentious, no one forced you to be here. You could just, I don't know, go back to watching Tucker Carlson at happy hour and getting drunk like you apparently were, and you're feeling confrontational, you know. Yeah, so I don't know. I guess your fingers are tied up because you're probably driving around half drunk right now. But either way,
Hopefully not.
I hope not. You shouldn't be. It's ridiculous. You're putting other people's lives in danger. But yeah, if that's the case.
I lost an uncle that way.
Yeah, and it's a bummer. And you don't. Yeah. Mickham says, "Yep, I have some kind of quartz sand that like." But I think you'd have to hand pick it by hand, gravel by gravel, to sort out the glassiest ones. If it's transparent,
yeah, that would take a long time.
If transparent, it's the goal. Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's kind of one of those things that I would realistically just order some glass stuff and then try out a few different things, because it's honestly pretty cheap. Because I think like a bag of that stuff is like $11 or whatever, and you can try it out.
Sweet. I mean, you could, if you were industrious about it and you just so happen to have a rock tumbler, you could just go batch by batch and just with your giant bag full of quartz gravel and just like tumble each for a week.
Right.
It does take it takes a while to do each batch, but you can do it. You can have a bunch of like really clear, nice looking tumbled stones.
Right.
It depends on how fast you need this project done, Zip.
Right.
Because I mean, each one you only end up with like a handful. You fill the tumbler up and it's full, right? And then it just grinds all the way down, and then you just have like a little handful when you're done. And yes, I have tumbled stones.
Right. Uh-oh, Mac Mountaineer's still here. Says, walked home from the Roadhouse bar to my apartment in Jackson. About a 5-minute walk. Looking at the elk refuge now as I'm responding. Let's get into it. Call me up, man. Hey, man, if you want to post your phone number in chat, I don't know who the hell you are. So how would I, first of all, be able to call you up? You confrontational ass showed up on the co-op stream years ago, and that's the only reason I still follow you, even though it's a terrible reason. My bad. Right. Okay. So here's the problem. Am I confrontational or are you confrontational? You showed up in my chat confronting me after drinking, right? And then it's like, and then your thing is, let's get into it. Like, why? What's the advantage of me, air quote, getting into it with you? Why would that be helpful? Right? Like, what would it do? Like, you're some guy in Jackson living in an apartment on a Friday yelling at me on YouTube
Go yell at the elk.
while you stare at an elk refuge. And then your question was like, because I'm so pretentious and why we're smarter than you or whatever. I don't know. I read and research and implement my research into experience. And then I try to share that experience with other people. Right?
Yeah.
So does that make me pretentious or does that make me smarter or whatever? Yeah, I don't really know. I think Alyssa was. Were you touching? What were you doing?
I was like, I'm just gonna mod powers. Hey, I'm a mod.
Super funny. Well, it's kind of one of those weird. This is one of those weird situations. This is one of those weird situations where there's likely what we would call a parasocial relationship, where this is what we call a parasocial relationship, where somebody watches me and Corey on the internet, and then they think they know us, and then they feel like there's an actual relationship there, and that they have some right or knowledge of what our world is like or what it is that our relationship is or any of that kind of stuff, right? So people will listen to hours and hours and hours of me talking, Corey talking, whatever. As you've brought up the co-op stream, apparently I was kicked off of the co-op stream, which, no, I was not kicked off the co-op stream. Corey and I did 100 episodes of The Real Fish Talk. We utilized the analytics to find out if it was going to be a profitable project or not. And after doing 100 episodes, it turned out it wasn't a profitable project because we had the same 5,000 people watching and listening to our podcast. So while we had 5,000 people watching our podcast all the time, which is great, it's great to have 5,000 people, we weren't growing as a show. So we decided to apply our time to other projects. Whether or not anybody else needs to know about what those other projects are, chances are no, because most of that stuff is proprietary Aquarium co-op information that has nothing to do with people who watch us on YouTube, right? You guys don't know what our projects are or what we're working on or what we're testing or what we're developing or what we're doing because it's a company. You understand? It would be like getting mad at Apple because you don't get to know their R&D. Like,
right.
Why would you get to know their research and development? That's the company's information, right? But it is public information because we made it public at the time. We stopped doing that. We stopped doing that podcast because it was costing us more money to do it than it was essentially making. So we're actually going backwards. It took up 5 hours of my time twice a week. It took up 5 hours of Corey's time twice a week and 5 hours of Jimmy's time twice a week. And it would generally blow up the whole day because we'd have to get ready for it. We try to get guests for it. There's a lot of stuff that we had to do in order to do that. And our time is much more valuable utilized in other aspects of our day-to-day operations. So we decided to apply that time to other projects, which have done pretty good as far as I know. And as far as I know, I mean, I had an in-person meeting with Corey yesterday, and everything seems to go everything seems to be going pretty fine as far as I can tell.
Good.
So, yeah, I'm not really worried about it. The follow-up is, nah, dog, your personality will always attract aggression. And here's always, like, one of the issues that I have with that is that, yes, and I actually talked to Alyssa about this the other day.
Yeah.
There's a certain segment of the population that gets wildly triggered by me. And I would put Mac Mountaineer, if that is your real name.
It might not be.
I would put you into that category. I've run into people like Mac my whole entire life that are immediately mad that I just exist on this planet.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing I can do about it. And it somehow becomes my responsibility that other people are being aggressive with me. Right? Like, at what point in time is that my responsibility that someone else has showed up to be a jerk to me? Right? Like, you're the one who self-admittedly says your personality will always attract aggression, right? So you've literally ascribed that I am the one who is attracting the aggressive person, who is you.
Right.
So my question here is, who's responsible to change, right? Who's responsible to change their action? Is it me? Should I change who I am because you've become aggressive? Is that what I'm supposed to do? Am I supposed to change my personality, who I am, so that you are no longer responding to me in an aggressive manner? Why is that? Why would I do that? Why? Why would I do that? I don't know. Is there some reason that I would like change my behavior because other people are continuing some aggressive behavior at me? Why would I do that?
I don't know. If it was happening to me, I would just kick him out.
Oh.
Come up in my house.
Right.
Get out. You don't get cookies. No cookies.
Yeah.
No, you
It's
can't
just-
use the bathroom, and no, you cannot charge your phone in here. Get out.
Yeah. It's one of those weird situations that it's one of those like really weird situations. And to the point where like I've dealt with this kind of crap like throughout my entire life. And the thing is, when I was a younger guy, I probably had a lot more of the childlike mind that a lot of young men do, because it's pretty typical of young men. That, it's time to test my mettle. The old-timey way of putting it was with the old session of the old fisticuffs, you rapscallion, right?
Oh, well, you see.
But the reality is that there comes a time in like everybody's life where you got to realize that everybody loses in that situation. One of the issues that I take with certain things prescribed by guys like Jordan Peterson, for instance, that like working out is good, right? Learning to like karate kick everything throughout life is not going to work out that well for you.
No, because you're going to
Right.
shatter your bones.
Right. And so people will be like, Jordan Peterson he's a fantastic physician. You're like, okay, he's a terrible teacher. He's a terrible orator. He might know a lot about psychology and psychiatry, but is he a psychiatrist or a psychologist? Because they're slightly different.
Yeah.
And the guy's popular because he talks about essentially Nazi rhetoric. That's why he's popular.
Oh, great.
You know?
Awesome.
Yeah.
I love that. I'll just keep doing that.
Yeah.
We need some more of those people
Yeah,
in the world.
and it's the whole idea that, like, if you clean your room, everything's going to get fixed up in your life. And it's like, hey, you should clean your room because that's just what you're supposed to do. That's the reality. Taking care of your property is a good idea. But it's not necessarily going to change the last 200 years of your family's history in the United States, right?
Right.
It's not going to change all of history and whatnot. Yeah. But anyhow, we're up to the end of the show. We're up to the end of the show for a Friday. Going to give a big shout out to Lorcan, Tom Wing, and Jack for becoming patrons. And a big shout out to Joseph Stanley for becoming a member today. You too can become a member and reach a next level of intestinal fortitude.
Yes.
Yeah.
You too. You can eventually eat anything that you want and not have any issues.
No, that's not true. That's not true. That is a false prescription. That is not true. You won't. We will not actually.
These statements have not been corroborated by the
corroborated
FDA.
by anybody. Yeah.
This is not intended as medical advice.
Super funny. Super funny. But yeah, I want to thank everybody for coming out today. And yeah, have a good time out there, everybody. It's going to be a weekend. I'm probably going to have to go look at more properties again, and I got to build a deck this weekend. So
We just got a chainsaw. I'm going to try chainsawing stuff.
chainsaw.
Heck yeah, chainsaw.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.